Good evening, football fans, and good evening, Mr. Kirby Purvis.
Good evening, Mr. Bedaway. How are you doing?
You live from Marty Stanley Stadium on the campus of Robert B. Glenn High School in beautiful Kernersville, North Carolina.
And it is a
It's going to be raining.
Now I wonder who that was.
I wouldn't argue with a man that brings with Mr. Kirby Purvis from TriadSportsCoverage.com, bringing you tonight's high school football game between the visiting North Davidson Black Knights and your Glen Bobcats. Our broadcast is brought to you by Bibbs Downtown, also brought to you by New Expression, by First Community Bank, and Farm Bureau Insurance of Kernersville, North Carolina. So we got the commercials out of the way, Kirby. Now tell me, what are you doing here tonight?
Well, I got a phone call from my agent.
Okay.
And he said, Mr. Pedaway needs some assistance tonight. And that he needed, I said, I don't know nothing about football. He said, well, you were there before. I said, but that don't mean I know anything about football. So he said, just come and do some color commentating and he'll help you out. I said, okay, I'm in.
Okay, what is that instrument third from the left down there?
That would be, was that your left or my left?
Yes.
That would, that's a xylophone, maybe?
Xylophone, it might be. It looks like a xylophone. But seriously, we are going to have a football game here at Robert B. Glenn High School tonight with a very powerful North Davidson football team coming in here. They have a lot of quality football players. They have a good coaching staff. Before I get too far, I want to mention that I used to cover North Davidson, so a lot of these people that I saw tonight hadn't seen for a while, and it was great to renew some acquaintances. But one of them that came up to me was a young man by the name of Kai Bunker, and he was my very first student intern when I was covering North Davidson. He's at UNC Charlotte now, and he's always been a fine young man, he's a great listener. I mean, he followed our instructions. He was on time. He loved to cover games, and we had a great time working together. And I just want to say that it was kind of a pleasant surprise to turn around and there stands Kai.
Yes, sir.
And he was very polite. So I want to give a shout out to his brother Colin and his mom and dad and his little brother. I can't remember his first name, but I know he's got another little brother. But anyway, it was nice to bring back some memories with that family. So Kai used to travel to some away games with us, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
he put up with an old man, and I tried to not steer him too far from straight.
Well, he seemed like a very nice young man when I got to meet him down with you. And once again, I'd like to say thank you for what you do for the kids, be it in the football or any sport or whatever you do. You cover a lot for the kids. You actually touch the lives of many kids more so than you probably realize. I thank you for that.
I appreciate that, Kirby. I've always had a dream to be able to do some of this broadcasting and covering sports, and it was, about 3-4 years ago it became a reality, and I've had so much fun covering these young athletes. And just today we were talking to some of the kids here. I was here earlier in the afternoon at Glenn. Actually came to do a softball recruiting video for a young lady who's trying to get into college, and I know a guy that has a camera. But I do spend a lot of my daylight hours around, particularly Glenn High School, and there's some great people up here. Brad Craddock is the principal, and Joe McCormick is the athletic director, along with John Fowler, and Marty Stanley, who retired last December as AD here at Glenn High School, which they named the stadium after the first home game this year on August 22nd, I believe it was.
I was here for that game.
And you were doing the game, and Kyle Spencer. And Marty is he's just one of a kind. I mean, you talk to anybody in the state that has anything to do with athletics, and you mention the name Marty Stanley, and you'll get a lot of positive feedback from those people. He's meant a lot to a lot of young people here, and I think it was a great honor that they chose to name the stadium and also the entire sports complex after Mr. Stanley. And he and I've known him for 4 years now, and whatever I've needed to make things happen for my website as far as covering his team, they were right there to help us. So
there you go.
But the pregame ceremonies are still underway. We'll be getting, should be getting The captains will be brought out to the field here soon. We also will have the presentation of our colors, and the band will be playing the national anthem. I think our public address announcer just went to work.
Yes, sir. It sounds like it.
And I think that's Russ Lawton. He's paid by the word, so he'll talk a lot.
Oh. It was so earlier.
Mike Lawton, and Mike Lawton is a longtime coach here at Glenn High School. Still coaches. He's retired, but he still coaches, assistant coach on softball, and fine young man. Russ was actually a student manager for the Carolina Tar Heels when they won their national championship back in the, I believe was it late 80s, early 90s? But he has a national championship ring.
Really? So he got it on?
He probably does.
I need to go shake his hand.
Now, I've actually got a national championship ring, too.
Really?
Yes, I do. It's from the North Davidson softball team that we were part of, and they went 33-0 and were named USA Today national champions.
Wow. I did not.
And the crowd goes crazy.
There we go.
The national anthem being performed by the marching Bobcat Band from Robert B. Glenn High School here in Kernersville, North Carolina, right off of Interstate 40 at the Union Cross. I'm getting interrupted by a proud father, I think. You know, when we were up here doing these games, I think you guys have mentioned a couple times, we never have any fun up here.
Never.
It's strictly
all business.
Strictly business. And so, you know, we try to be as unprofessional as we can be.
Right.
And from what I can gather, we have succeeded.
There we go. Leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds.
Well beyond the level of expectation we have. Beat it. Beat it.
Now, tomorrow during the day, Kirby will be down at the NCQMA and doing a little quarter midget racing.
Yes, sir. Going round and round.
Those are some interesting Saturdays. Sometimes they're
colorful,
long and drawn out Saturdays.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow's the what they call a cup race for the World Formula classification.
Yeah, the animal and the World Formula, yes, sir.
And the
those things are fast too, Mike. Did you know that?
I can when you stand by the track and watch them go by, yeah. They're probably reaching about 45 down the straightaway.
45 down the straightaway, and people are going, "What, 45?" That's not fast.
But your straightaway is about 3 feet long, then you're turning again.
And you're talking about kids as young as 9 years old, 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And the quarter scale, once again, I keep referring to this. If you're running 40 on the quarter midget, you multiply that by 4, and that's what you and I are running.
Yep.
So you're running 160 miles an hour. That is right, isn't it? 40 times. Yeah, 160
Let's see, 4, carry to 1. Yep.
Yeah. So you're running it that fast. And it's just like the football game here. Everybody, you come out and you watch the discipline these kids have and the way they play the game discipline. It's hard to believe they're just kids half the time.
And, what's going to be interesting tonight is this is what they call an endowment game, so it doesn't go against your games in the season. So what both coaches have chosen to do is bring up some JV players and let them dress out for varsity, and maybe some of them get some action. And I think what they're going to find out is, some of these young men are pretty spectacular in a JV game, but they're going to find out that when you step up that one notch, the competition gets a little meaner, a little tougher, a little faster. And as if I've talked to some of the graduates here who are now playing college football, and they'll say the one thing that we noticed right away was the strength and the speed that wasn't in high school. And as you go higher and higher, everybody's skill level picks up another notch. And all of a sudden, how dominant you thought you were is really non-existent anymore because everybody beside you is just as good as you ever thought you were.
Just as good, yes, sir. What was believe it or not, I played back in my younger days, many moons ago.
Really?
Yeah. What I noticed back then, that when you went from JV to varsity, even though you had the same pads on, it just didn't seem like they were as soft as they were in JV. Once you moved up to varsity, the pads got a little less protective, it seemed like, although they were the same pads. Everybody was hitting twice as much harder.
And tonight, in particular, with the Black Knights, they're always a playoff contender for the state title, and they've got some young men that are being pretty heavily recruited by some D1 schools, and it's going to be a real interesting battle. We got the captains taking the field for the coin toss for the Bobcats. Number 7 is Greg Keller, and 81 is Chris Pinkos. And 23 is Q Evans, and number 60, Barry Bauman. They're the 4 captains representing the Bobcats. The team comes up out from under the bleachers, the home bleachers. The Bobcats always come out of a semi-tunnel here at the 50-yard line. And they run down to would be the east end zone, which on the home side will be to our left. And they will be coming through the banner that the cheerleaders and the band will be holding up. The Knights will be coming from the
right to left.
So the coin toss has been completed, and the Bobcats are going to be receiving. I think the North Davidson won the toss and deferred their choice until the second half. So the Bobcats obviously would choose to take to receive the opening kickoff.
Yes, sir. So it looks like everybody's getting in position to break through the ceremonial banners.
We're going to get ready. Here comes the Bobcats. They looks like that was Donald Carter Jr., number 24, leading the pack, and number 6 is
Jarrell Jordan.
Jordan Jarrell. Now Jordan, last Friday night he wore number 10. His normal number is 6, but he wore number 10 to honor a former teammate who had to move out of state and is no longer on the team. It was T.J. McIver, who played ball here a couple of years. Very good athlete, but I think his family moved to Virginia. So Jordan thought enough of T.J. that he wore his number just for the spirit of having him with them again. So
that's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool that he did that. Now he's back to his number 6 regular number. And Bobcats are going to be receiving the opening kickoff, and number 25, freshman phenom Braxton Rory, JV player who this will be his first varsity experience, and he has been really lighting up the scoreboard on the JV games. He had 4 touchdowns the last game against Reagan. He had a 77-yard kickoff return. He had 3 3 passes for touchdowns. 2 of them are over 60 yards.
And he's the one they're bringing up just for this game.
They're bringing him up for this game. So this is going to be a great example of how a young freshman who is used to junior varsity level football, how he reacts when he gets met with these varsity players from North Davidson.
Let's just hope they don't have varsity blues.
Let's hope not. So the kicker for North Davidson is number 30, and that's Daniel Leonard. He's also their place kicker.
He's got a good run coming upfield.
There goes Braxton Rory. He returns it. Looks like they fumbled the ball, and they're going to say.
Got a Bobcat down on the field as well.
I think that's Braxton Rory. They're going to say it was a fumble on the kickoff. So Rory made. He got hit pretty hard on that tackle, and they jarred the ball loose. And now, what you don't want to do against a team the caliber of North Davidson is give them a short field. And now they're going to start on the Bobcat.
33.
Looks like about the 30. About the 37, looks like.
The 37, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the other side of the field.
Yeah, I think it's around the 37 or 38-yard line. Looks like the Black Knights will be taking over, which is going to challenge the Bobcat defense right off the bat here because...
Looks like Rory's coming off the field on his own.
It's actually it's number 2. It's DJ Miller. So I guess... I thought it was Rory, but it is DJ Miller, who's a junior running back for the Bobcats. So the Black Knights will take over on the 37-yard line. Glenn's 37.
Play action fake to the one. Going deep on the first one, airing it out, and touchdown. Black Knights. Number 6, it was on the Black Knights, Khalil Miller.
Khalil Miller.
Khalil Miller. Okay.
Khalil is his older brother Karsten played at North Davidson, and I covered Khalil when he was playing in middle school at North Davidson Middle School.
Oh.
And they're both very talented athletes. So that was a pass from the quarterback. Was Brandon
Joe? Was it Joe Butts? Number 15, Joe Butts.
Was it 15 at quarterback?
I'm thinking it was there, Mike.
So that was a 37-yard or 36-yard touchdown pass on the first play of the game, and then Leonard converts the extra point to make it 7-0. And we'll be back after a brief commercial from one of our sponsors.
Hey, it's Biggie, and I'm here with the 2013 Barbecue Pitmasters Alabama champions Ricky Wayne and Pig Daddy of Bibbs Downtown. Gentlemen, what's it like being reality stars?
Hey, it's almost as good as Bibbs Ribs, baby.
We're not Eastern or Western. We're best.
I'll tell you one thing, I never trust a skinny cook, and these guys got it going on.
Hey, you can bring your family in, or if you like Biggie, come on in on Friday and get your Bibbs fixed.
It's barbecue with a downtown vibe.
They've got dine-in, takeout, catering, and a private event space. Be sure to follow them on Twitter and Facebook, and you can always check them out at BibbsDowntown.com.
And we're back live at Marty Stanley Stadium.
Speaking of Bibbs, they were out at the air show this weekend, and I got to meet the owner.
Mr. Moreau?
Yes, sir. Robert had his overalls on.
No, that was Pig Daddy Little, Mark Little.
Oh, Mr. Little.
Yeah, he's actually done a football game here for us before.
Okay.
He played at Glenn Junior High School.
Ah.
But now he's a champion pitmaster from the TV show Pitmasters, on Barbecue Pitmasters.
Wow. So I met greatness. Yep, that's him.
Mark is a great young man, and Robert also is one of the owners. But we just had the kickoff, and the Bobcats did down the ball on the 33-yard line on a fair catch on a kind of a short kick.
Very short kick it was. Let's see what we got going on. We've got line them up. Got who is it? Number 8 split wide right out here. So
that's Zach Day split out for the. No, it's probably yep. No, 81 is Pinko.
Okay,
Chris
81.
Pinko. Yep. So that
got a busted play there.
Yep, that play got didn't have a chance to get underway. So right off the bat, one play, and the Black Knights have gone ahead 7-0 on a 36-yard pass to Khalil Miller. And the Bobcats are faced now with a 2nd down and 10 on their own 33. Greg Keller looks on the sideline for a signal from Coach Stevenson, the offensive coordinator for the Bobcats.
It's back under center here. We got looks like he's calling an audible. Coming out wide with the runner.
DJ Miller turns the corner and is met as he got to the almost to the sideline. He turned up the field and was met by a couple of 3 Black Knights for a no gain. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 now for the Bobcats with 10:45 and running in the first quarter. The game kind of got off to a
one-sided start there, wasn't it?
Very, very negative start for the Bobcats, fumbling at opening kickoff and giving the Black Knights a short field. Here's Keller taking a snap, tries to draw.
Looks like the North Davidson guy stepped offline, and they're wanting to know the call on that.
Now they've stopped the clock. The referee is somebody, I guess, Glenn has called timeout. That was that guy that was stepping off sides is number 7. 315-pound Shy Tuttle. He is, I think someone mentioned the Tennessee coach is in the house tonight.
Yes, sir.
Last week, Fedora was in the house from Carolina when North Davidson played. So this young man he's close to making his decision. He's supposed to be making the announcement on the 26th of September. And whatever school he decides to go to, they're getting a fine young man with a lot of heart. He's a great athlete. When I remember watching him play middle school, he was always the biggest kid on the field because he's such a huge person, and he's obviously a great ball player. And don't be surprised if you see him playing fullback for the Knights over and running the ball in the end zone.
Okay, he's one of the all-around guys.
He does that occasionally, and it's hard to tackle a 315-pound fullback.
This is true.
3rd down and 10. Bobcats snap it, looking for a pass out to the left side. A beautiful pass.
Just slightly overthrown. Oh, and we got a flag on the play.
They're going to call holding, I believe. I think the defender from North Davidson, I think, had a hold of Braxton Rory's shirt, maybe around the 45-yard line. So they're going to, if it's holding, they'll do a 10-yard penalty they're going to call illegal receiver downfield.
Ooh, where did that come from?
I don't know, but the whole press box says what at the same time. So the pass was a little bit overthrown and looked like there was some contact around the 45-yard line, and the referee over there is the one that threw the flag. How he would see an illegal man downfield from that.
And nobody else was in the vicinity.
Yeah. So now the Bobcats go back in punt formation. It's number 50, Evander Silva, who is
It takes a
Glen roll down to the 26-yard line. Now, Evander Silva, number 50, Kirby, he's a soccer player for Glen High School. He's a goalkeeper, probably one of the best keepers in the area. And last night, the Bobcats played South Stokes on this same field, and were leading 1-0 with 3 seconds to go in the game. They had a free kick from around about 30 yards out, and Evander was able to jump up right at the crossbar and tip it up over for a missed game-tying goal.
North Davidson pulls out to a wide right out on that one.
They pick up about 3 yards. Looks like
3, yes. But Glenn did had a good defense line on that pulled over and stopped that one on them as they were coming across the line.
So it'll be 2nd down and 8 yards from the 27. They got flags and whistle blowing. Looks like there's going to be
another offsides there.
Might be offsides or encroachment. They're going to call illegal procedure against North Davidson. So somebody must have moved on the line and drew the offsides. Backs them up 5 yards. It'll now still be 2nd down, but it'll be 2nd and about 13 or 14 to go on the 19-yard line, looks like.
Got a man in motion. Same play as earlier, right up the middle. And he's going out wide. He's down to the 30-yard line. He's on the 30 of Glenn at that run.
There's no flags down. That was a run around the right end. That was a great long run by the Black Knights. To hurry up offense. The chain gang hasn't even reset yet, and the ball's being snapped. There's a handoff again.
Little draw play on that. Breaking
tackles. That's Kennedy McCoy, I believe, number 1.
What Glenn needs to do now is do a heavy stand with their defense and at least stop the momentum from the North Davidson Knights here.
Kennedy was also a kid I saw play in middle school, great athlete, basketball player and football player. Touchdown. That was a crossing pattern. So the Black Knights have put another
6 points on the board.
Another 6 points with a 30-yard pass. It's hard to tell these numbers on North Davidson's jerseys. They got these
heather gray color jerseys,
and the orange number with the black outline. It kind of blends right in with the shirt. So
it does.
I know that's Daniel Leonard kicking the ball, so he made the extra point.
Yes, sir. He has a leg on him.
Yes, he does. So with 8:29 to go in the first quarter, the Bobcats are suddenly find themselves down by 2 scores, 14-0. From the very opening play where the Bobcats fumbled, it's been downhill ever since. What
we need to do is go down and get them cheered up, Mike. We need to get motivation. Well, you want me to go take care of that for you?
Yeah, you can do that. If you have a can that has motivation in it, go down there and share it with the team, because I know this. These kids, when they get behind, it's been a general rule here at Glenn for this is my 4th year here. Glenn never has had a very good come from behind football team. They always they kind of pack it in when they get down pretty heavily. So with very little time off the game clock, and it's 14-0. There's another pooch kick by North Davidson. The ball is free. Number 84 is Dylan Lewis. Jumps on the ball to cover the ball at
the 29-yard
line. Bobcats will take over on their own 29 with 8:28 on the first quarter clock. Again, the Bobcats are trying to run a hurry-up offense. They're looking over to the sideline for a play call from the coaches.
And see, that would confuse me because I wouldn't know which coach to look at.
And well, I'm not sure which one they're looking at either, because 2 or 3 of them are making moves. Keller looks up back over to the sideline he's getting signals from 2 different coaches. He's got 3 receivers out to the left, and he's got 1 in the backfield, and Pincos is spread out here on the right side of the field. There's an end around with, looks like
15.
Number 15. It's another freshman. That's Deshaun Razak, who is a true freshman running back, 5'5", 145 pounds.
Yeah.
And he's being met by some 170, 180, and 190-pound defenders.
Well, I noticed when he come on his around and they stacked up on him 3-1, they still didn't tackle him.
Yeah.
He was still fighting it out.
So now we got the same alignment. We got 3 receivers out to the left, and Kier Meredith in the backfield there's a snap, inside handoff to Meredith. It was a fake handoff, and it was handed. I think Meredith handed it back to DJ Miller, who got thrown for about a 6-yard loss.
Makes it 2nd and 9 on it.
That was...
No, 2nd and 15, my fault.
How about 3rd and 15?
3rd and 15. Here we go.
3rd down 15 with 7:20 on the clock. Again, the Bobcat quarterback is Greg Keller, looking over for a play call from the sideline. He takes the snap, rolls to his left, looking downfield. There's a pass right. Almost intercepted. The North Davidson defender, I think, had the ball in hit him in a bad place, right in his stomach where he couldn't catch it.
Right.
So it drops as an incomplete pass. Will bring up another punting situation for the Bobcats. So the ball is spotted on the 24, or about the 24-yard line on the right hash mark, looking from left to right. And number 50, Evander Silva, is in punt formation. There goes a snap by Austin Walls. He's kind of pooched up in the air, hits the ground around midfield, takes a terrible bounce backwards, is covered up by number 5, Dedrick Hawkins. Dedrick has an older brother, Josh Hawkins, who is a starting defender for the East Carolina Pirates. Had 2 interceptions against the Virginia Tech.
Vols?
No, the Virginia Tech.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, the Virginia
that team. Yeah.
So the Black Knights take over on the Glen 43, 1st and 10, 6:55 to go in the first quarter. They got 3 receivers out to the left. There's a hand up.
Blitz come on them.
There's a handoff again off the right side to Kennedy McCoy, and number 15 is Joe Butts.
Joe Butts.
5'9", 165. That's probably a stretch, 165. He's a sophomore and getting some action here tonight.
Glenn put up a great wall on that one and blocked the run. See if they could push them back on this one again and get the momentum built back up to get the game turned back around in their favor.
So Butts is in the shotgun formation, got receivers 3 to the left and 2 to the right. No one else in the backfield. He also looks over to the coaches for a play for this 2nd down and 9 to go.
Glenn was showing blitz.
That was a pass out in the flat to Kennedy again, number 1, I believe it was.
He shakes off like 3 tackles before he gets down to, what is it, about the 3 or 4 yard line?
Yeah, and it's you're not going to arm tackle athletes with this talent. You got to wrap up, and the Bobcats they've had this issue throughout.
A quick snap, handoff up the middle,
and he falls into the end zone for the 3rd touchdown of the first quarter.
Nope, they're going to spot it on the 1 or the half-yard line, right?
Well, this one referee had his arms up as a touchdown.
They're going to spot him on the 1.
No, they're going for the extra point. They gave him a touchdown.
They did? Okay.
Because Leonard is back in formation for the extra point. So momentarily it'll be 21-0 with 5:44 to go in the first quarter of the football game. Here's the snap, and the kick is
almost
good.
Blocked.
But he got up in the air really quickly.
Yes, sir.
North Davidson has been known over the years for having great place kickers. Sean Williams used to kick. He's now at East Carolina. And they had, throughout their history, they've had good place kickers. I don't know if it's in the water down in Davidson County or what it is, but
there's something in the water down there. I don't know what it is, but there's something in the water.
I don't know what it is, but they've got something. So the Bobcats are facing what they had really hoped it wouldn't happen, and that's a very dominating performance by the North Davidson Black Knights. Of course, they've been giving them a short field every possession. They've started on Glenn's side of the 50 all 3 of their possessions, and you do that with a team of this caliber, and it's going to get ugly.
They're going to take advantage of it.
That's right. So now the Black Knight kicker will be kicking from west to the east, or from our right to left from the home side. And here goes again another short pooch kick that comes down at the 30. And Dylan Lewis called for a fair catch, and they're at the 30, again about the 32-yard line, 30, maybe 33, depending on where they mark it. The Bobcats will have it 1st and 10 with 5:43 to go. This is Mike Pettaway along with Kirby Purvis.
That's me.
TriadSportsCoverage.com's presentation of Glen football, brought to you by Bibbs Downtown, the greatest barbecue in the country.
Well, and I the barbecue is great, but
I know.
I love the meatloaf.
You love their meatloaf.
And the mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Kind of makes you feel like you're at Mama's.
Yeah. Yeah, we appreciate all the Bibbs have done for us in the last year and a half, 2 years. There's another, might have been a mishandled snap, and the gang piles up on, looks like it was the, it might have been Kier Meredith jumped on that ball, but that snap was just not handled correctly. Now we got the quarterback in shotgun formation standing beside Kier Meredith. He looks out to his left. He lofts it up for an interception. That pass kind of got away from Greg Keller, got too much air under it, and the Glenn receiver turned around, and I guess he kind of stumbled a couple steps, and that left the defender just in center field waiting for the ball to come down. And just like that, we've turned it over to the Black Knights again.
Close to midfield.
It's on their 48-yard line, a 1st and 10, 21-0, first quarter, 5:07 to go.
Okay, just maybe, this will be wearing down the Black Knights offense. So in the second half, we can come back and get them. That's what I'm hoping for.
And maybe, just maybe, Kyle Larson's going to win the Sprint Cup championship. And he's not even in the chase.
He could.
Yeah, he could.
He could win. If he wins this week, he'll be in the chase.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Second down and 4.5 or 5 yards to go. 4:42, clock moving. Here goes a handoff around the left.
He stumbles.
McCoy is gang tackle at the 44-yard line, 46-yard line by the that blocking just kind of fell apart at the line.
And it looks like the turf is getting a little damp out there. Seeing a couple of guys sliding.
Is it going to rain, Kirby?
It probably is.
So here goes the snap to Butts, who is the quarterback, number, I guess that's number, is that 15 or 16? 15, I
15.
guess. It's hard to, these old eyes can't see as good as they used to.
I think we should get them to wear their other jerseys.
That was a pass to number 12, a little push off, but Caleb Moore, who is a 6'2" junior. So we got one referee saying incomplete and another referee saying complete. So these are the kind of things that really get Coach Aldine Payne's Isaiah Coons. He's a senior running back, 5'10", 200-pounder. Butts is still in the quarterback. He's got a number 10 going in motion, Brandon McCrae.
Oh, he's met with a hard hit there. Glenn looks like they're getting a little fire back in them there, Mike.
Yeah, it looks like they're first couple of series they were getting blown off the ball, and
looks like they're actually reading the play a little bit better from North Davidson.
Again, we got Butts in the quarterback, 21-0, 2:54 to go in the first quarter. He looks up to the sideline for a signal from the coaches. And here goes the snap. He looks to his right, rolls
He's
to
got
his
some
right.
pressure on him. Got some
He's
pressure.
running for his life. There's an open receiver. He was being pursued by
Number 8,
Zach Day. And right before Zach got to him, right beyond the left hash mark, or to be the right hash mark going from west to east, he got rid of the ball to an open receiver, but it was a little bit in front of him, and it bounced incomplete off his hands. So 2:36 to go in the first quarter. Now we've got receivers out to the right, one out to the left, and we've got Butts looks across the middle, wide open receiver. He cuts
and
back.
Tripped him up.
He is tripped up by number 38. Would be Elijah Jennings. Hit him around the ankles and tripped him up and brought him down after a pretty good game, but it's still going to be short of a first down by about maybe a half a yard. Or they're not going to measure. They're going to call it.
What are they going to do on that? Half a yard?
No, that was a fourth down to turn over to the Bobcats. There's a lateral back to Razak here. He fakes one guy one way, and he runs from one side to the other and gains exactly 0 yards by running from one side to the other. You always got to go. You have to go downhill. You got to move the ball forward.
Got to move forward.
That's easy for us to sit up here and say because we're not being pursued by 11 hungry guys that want to rip your shoulder pads off your. But again, the hurry up offense with Greg Keller taking the ball under center, pitch out to the left.
It's down.
He planted his foot. Kier's got he has a bad, I think it's his left leg is giving him a little bit of problem. And on that particular play, when he was a no gain on the third down now and about 8 yards to go. Keller still at the quarterback looking over. We got Miller in motion coming over to his right side.
Play going right. He's on the run. He's going to keep
it in and run.
And he looks like he's
first down. There's one thing that you can say about Greg Keller. He is one tough young man.
Yes, sir.
He left-handed quarterback. Kind of reminds me of a John Elway. Same number 7.
Same number 7.
And when he gets ready to run the ball, he puts it under his arm and he goes. And that was a pretty impressive run right there.
He tucked it in like a seasoned running back would and took off with it.
1st and 10 at the 39. There's a pitch out. And Kier Meredith could not get any room to move. He made it back to the line of scrimmage as the first quarter is going to
wind down on us there.
Wind down with the score 21-0 with the North Davidson Black Knights enjoying a 3-touchdown advantage after 12 minutes of play. We're going to take a short commercial break and we will be right back.
Today, community means more than the place you live. It's groups of people connected by shared interests and similar experiences. Your yoga class, your work colleagues, your book club. With all the communities in your life, shouldn't there be one for your financial life? We're First Community, financial experts here to work with you on your personal, business, investments, and insurance needs. That's the power of community.
And we are back here at Robert B. Glenn High School on Football Friday at Marty Stanley Stadium. The second quarter will be getting underway with the Bobcats having a 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard line. The ball is on the far side hash mark. Bobcats are still on the sideline getting the last few moments of instruction from their coaches.
Maybe a little pep talk to go with it.
Could be. And we have Mr. Greg Keller calling signals tonight with Kier Meredith in the backfield with Deshaun Razak as one of the running backs. And split out to this side is number 81, Chris Pinker. There's a lateral back to DJ Miller, and that play was diagnosed by the defense before the ball ever left the quarterback's hands. He was thrown for about a 9 or 10 yard loss.
Looks like an 8 yard there.
About 8 yards. So the ball is going to be on a 20 or the 32 yard line, looks like.
Let's see where they spot him at.
Keller's back in shotgun, looking over to the sideline.
Unclear of what we got.
Some more signaling from the coaches. They need a 22-point play is what they need. There's a great hole for Kier.
Up the middle.
Kier breaks another tackle. He needs another block
He's
here.
got another good block. He goes back in.
And he is met right almost at midfield where he is tackled. Looks like it's going to be around the 48, 49-yard line. It's going to bring up a third or a scoreboard says that was second down, but I think it was third. Now it's fourth and about 1 yard to go. And looks like the Bobcats are going to go for it on 4th and 1. Quick snap. And they're not going to make any progress. That was a quarterback sneak by Greg Keller, and as soon as he put his head down, he was met by a brick wall of Black Knights, and actually they gave him forward progress to about the normal line of scrimmage. So that's going to turn the ball over on the Bobcat 48-yard line. First down and 10 with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. 21-0. The North Davidson Black Knights on top of the Glen Bobcats. And there's a timeout taken by Coach Aldine Payne and the orange and blue clad Glen Bobcats. Kirby, this has been, it was unfortunate when the game got off with a fumble on the kickoff.
Right.
It just seemed like that whatever
mojo they had,
energy that Glenn brought out of the locker room just kind of got ripped out away from him. And Glenn is not. There's no secret they're not as talented as North Davidson. They don't have the players North Davidson has. And you get in a hole like this against a team that's that good, and it's going to make for a long night for the Bobcat faithful over here on the home side of the Marty Stanley Stadium.
Right, but we're going to stay tight. We're going to stay strong, and we're going to pull this one out some way or another.
We're going to play to the very end. Hopefully, things can turn around. You get a break here or there, and you never know what might happen.
So we'll
getting ready to get action back underway with the Black Knights taking the first and 10 at the 48-yard line. Got another quarterback back in the game.
He looks left, goes over the middle.
There's a wide open receiver in the middle of the field. He's
brought
tackled
down
on the 20-yard line, but that was so that was number 6 as the quarterback, Khalil Miller. So it's first and 10 now at the 20-yard line for the Black Knights. There's a handoff off the left tackle, and he gains about 3 to 4, maybe 5 yards.
Fans over on the Glen side trying to get their team's morale up for them.
There's a good crowd of on both sides of the stadium tonight. North Davidson always travels well with all their teams.
Oh, they're chasing the quarterback back. He's trying to throws off foot.
Wide open receiver is McCoy.
And we got a flag on the play.
The side judge threw a flag as he was being tackled around the 12-yard line. Don't know if it's going to be a face mask or a hold against the North. It's going to be a hold against North Davidson. So that's a break for the Bobcats. At least it's going to prolong the misery, I guess.
Well, they could possibly take this and use this to their advantage and get some more adrenaline flowing. Maybe a little in-your-face type stuff.
Yeah. So it's going to move the ball back up to the 29-yard line of the Bobcats. It's second down at about 20.
He's going back out of the shotgun. Oh, don't like what they see on the defense. Look for an additional play to be called.
Number 10 is Brandon McCray. He's the quarterback. He looks that was a no-look pass, like a basketball pass. He was looking to the receiver out in the flat and threw it straight down the middle to a wide-open receiver that's kind of settled down in the middle of the Bobcat secondary.
Have to say that was a good play.
So McCray is in at quarterback, number 10. We got McCoy, number 1, as a running back. And I can't tell the numbers on the that's number 5 going in motion, and that would be Nigel Dalton.
He's dropped
Another
back.
pass.
He's got some pressure on him.
McCray throws it toward the end zone.
And it's deflected.
Almost intercepted.
Ooh.
Oh. That was
Number 5.
Dedrick Hawkins, and Dedrick hit that new tractor in the process of replacing, and it slick as ice, and he went straight down on his back. So,
did a good job deflecting that.
Great play by Dedrick Hawkins and knocked that ball away. It was down around the 2 or 3 yard line when McCray found the receiver open momentarily, but a great recovery by Hawkins to bat it away for an incomplete pass. 3rd down and about.
But there's a flag on the play, so against North Davidson. I missed what the call was.
So we're marching the Black Knights back 15 yards for. He never did signal to the press box what that. Wow, but it's that
was a major penalty.
As Alec Hodges says, it's 3rd and forever. It must be about 10, 20, 25 yards to go. Wow. So North Davidson is actually shooting themselves in the foot by all these penalties. They were down in the red zone and couldn't.
Number 5 in motion. There's a handoff. And nice hit.
That was number 28. That would be Mr. Monty Travis. Monty is a tough young defender. So he laid his body into the ball carrier.
North Davidson's like 5 yards away from the original line of scrimmage.
So it's 4th down and 12, and they're going to place the ball on about the 32. Be a 42-yard field goal attempt by Mr. Daniel Leonard. Walker Jarvis holding. There's the kick. It's up plenty of distance, and it is wide. Leonard had the foot for it, but it was a little bit wide right. So the 42-yard field goal falls
to the wayside.
Actually it falls to the north side.
The near side.
Whatever. And the clock is still running
with 8:04 going.
8:04 in the second quarter. The referee is.
There's some debate with the referee.
Well, there is a mercy rule in the second half now where the clock will continue to run if you're behind by, I think, 42 points or something.
Okay.
But they absolutely let that clock run for about 7 or 8 seconds. It's 40 some points that will keep the clock running because we have already experienced that this year. So the Bobcats take over. Now they put 8:20 on the clock in the second quarter. Keller is still calling signals for the Bobcats. They have the ball on the 20-yard line, their own 20-yard line. 21-0 Black Knights on top.
Keller out of the shotgun set. 15 in motion.
He's going to be sacked.
Keller is sacked about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, he had
7 or 8.
He had no chance on that play. As soon as that ball was snapped, that defensive lineman just
read the holes
shot
and
the
drove
gap,
it.
and he was right there wrapping him up. So there's nothing for Keller to do on that one. Clock is still moving with 7:45. Second down and
Keller set. 15 back in motion.
There's a pass.
Quick pass. Good catch. Good catch. He's out to about the 29, it looks.
Chris Pinkos with the reception. Chris has great hands. It's almost like glue on his hands. You throw the ball in his vicinity, he's going to go up and bring it down. So great reception by Mr. Pinkos, who stepped between 2 defenders and pulled that ball out of the air for reception. Keller in the shotgun steps back, calls signals.
Glenn still has a chance to. Oh,
Keller faked the
quarterback
handoff.
fake on
He
that
faked
one.
it to Kier Meredith and tried to make some ground around the right end, but he was brought down after about a 2-yard pickup.
Glenn still has a chance to score on this drive.
21-0. 7 minutes to go in the first half.
if Glenn could at least get down and make a score on this one, that would bring it within 1 touchdown. So it would be 2 touchdowns. It'd be a very interesting game. That's right.
So Mr. Keller, he lofts
Back
it
out
up again. There's some contact.
That would be a pass interference.
That should be pass interference. The back judge did throw the flag.
On number 13 of North Davidson.
I mean, there was definitely a bump. And,
that's Hunter Henson.
I would assume that's going to be pass interference on the defense. They're going to call holding.
What?
Offsetting penalties. They had a holding in the protection for the pass, and then the referee, the back judge, threw the flag for the pass interference downfield. So it's the 2 flags off. They had 2 flags in the backfield. There must have been a lot of holding going on back there. Wow.
It was just a holding party going on.
Yeah. You got to know when to hold them.
And that wasn't it.
That wasn't the time. So the offsetting penalties will replay 2nd down, 8 yards to go for your Glen Bobcats. Mr. Keller is getting his backfield lined up, but here goes the snap, looking to his...
Oh, interception.
That pass, that route between the quarterback and receiver were on 2 different pages.
Yeah, the receiver never turned around and looked for that one.
That was either supposed to be a stop pattern right here in the 40, or he was supposed to cut across the middle, but he left it wide open for the interception. So I don't think I'm going to give that one to the quarterback as an interception. That might have been on the receiver. So
yeah, I think I'm going to go with that because, like you said, the receiver never turned around on that play.
So they've turned it over again in their own territory. Looks like they're on the 33-yard line, 36-yard line. That's
is
McCray.
Under pressure.
McCray is under pressure. He is being mobbed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 orange shirts.
It looks like Glenn's getting the pressure on the quarterback on this in the second quarter here.
Last couple possessions, they've been able to penetrate the offensive line and get back and give the quarterback some fits back in the backfield. But again, trailing 21-0. If they got any tricks up their orange sleeves, they better pull them out pretty quickly to stop the bleeding here. 6 minutes to go in the first half.
You need to grab an interception or something to turn this around.
There's a fake handoff and a pass down the middle. Another wide open receiver. That's going to be another touchdown. That was looked like from McCray to Khalil Miller for the 4th touchdown of the first half for the Bobcats. So it's a 43-yard touchdown pass from Brandon McCray to Khalil Miller as the Black Knights are attempting to score their 28th point with Daniel Leonard kicking the extra point. It's up, and it is good. So 28-0, Kirby, with 5:49 to play in the first half. I would say that everything is kind of going North Davidson's way, and
it appears it has that.
And it's not it's because that's how good they are. And Glenn has a real challenge ahead of them to keep this game from really getting blown wide open. It's already a 4-touchdown deficit. It's going to be really tough for the Bobcats to rebound from this kind of a first half. But
and the Bobcats, like we said, were showing a little more drive there right at the end of that play progress there, and they just need to get a little tighter on their man-to-man. It looked like, because that's where they blew that one.
And it looks like the Black Knights have had a lot of open receivers. They found the holes in the secondary for the Bobcats, and their quarterbacks have been right on the money with their passes. So here's Leonard's kickoff. He's only kicked pooch kicks up till now, and he puts his leg into it. It comes down around the 5-yard line, and that's going to be number 2. DJ Miller runs right into a tackler. So Miller did return it from the 5-yard line. Or that was Kier Meredith, number 3.
Number 3, yes.
So he returned it from the 5 up to the 23-yard line, looks like.
That's
24-yard line.
23.
So 1st and 10 with 5:40 to play in the first half. Still have Greg Keller in at quarterback for the Bobcats, a left-hander. Takes the snap,
Handoff, and he is met by
Shy Tuttle, 315-pound future D1 lineman. That's how
it's just like he was not even touched coming through the line.
He was, and he may have been touched, and he may have gotten out of his way because he was touched. When you're standing on the middle of the highway and a Greyhound bus comes towards you, you want to move. You want to move.
That's natural instinct.
Yeah. So here goes another play for the Bobcats. Keller again looking over for some help from the coaches. Anything, coach, that'll gain us some yards. 5:04, 5:02 to go in the first half.
He's set.
He looks. He's almost. There's a lofted pass up for. That was intended for Mr. Chris Pinkos, but the defender was between the ball and the receiver, and it was actually did knock down that pass.
Pinkos did a good job of deflecting that it wouldn't be intercepted on that play. Pinkos is going wide right on this one.
3rd down and 12. We got three receivers out to the left, and we got Meredith in the backfield with Keller calling the signals. A high snap brings it down, rolls to his left, and he is going to be thrown down for a loss around the 21-yard line. So that loss is going to be a 4th down and about 15 or 16 yards to go for a first down.
You got 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Vander Silva comes in to punt for the Bobcats. He will be punting from around the 5-yard line. Austin Wall is a long snapper. Silva is calling the signal. Here goes the snap and the kick.
It's high.
Come down around the 42-yard line. Fair catch.
Number 5 for North Davidson.
That would be
Nigel
Dalton.
Is it Nigel? Nigel?
Tonight it's Nigel. So the Black Knights will again have a short field starting on the Bobcat 42-yard line. 1st and 10, 3:48 to play in the first half with a 28-0 lead. We have a stoppage of play. The referee is telling the clock operator to change the time to 4:05. So 4 minutes, 5 seconds to play in the first half. Looks like we got Butts back at quarterback. A quick flip out to the right intended for Kennedy McCoy, and it went right through his hands. He had a blocker out in front of him, and
he took his eye off the ball.
Well, he saw that green in front of him. He was going to get to the end zone, and
he was running before he got it.
He forgot to secure the ball before he could run. So Butts is looking over. He's realigning his backfield, bringing McCray over here to the right.
McCray looked like he had a little hobble in him when he was coming across on his run.
He does look a little like he's limping a little bit. There's a handoff to Kennedy McCoy, and he picks his way through the open holes and ends up picking up about 6 yards, about a 3rd down and maybe 4 to go. Ball resting on the 40, almost the 35-yard line of the Bobcats. Joe Butts, quarterback, takes a snap. Here's a lateral pass. There's a missed tackle and a great
recovery on that one.
That was number 28 made that tackle. 27.
27 hit him the first time and rolled off of him, and then went back and got the actual tackle on that play.
Tyree Logan actually hit him low and wrapped his arms around his legs and brought him down. So not before another first down for the Black Knights. That's going to move the chains down to the... Now we got a personal foul hit to the helmet by the Bobcats, so we're going to add some yards to the end of that run.
And back in the red zone, it looks like.
It's going to put the ball down around the 10-yard line, maybe the 9-yard line. So it should be 1st and goal from the 9-yard line with Joe Butts at quarterback. He hands off to McCoy. He breaks out to his left. One man to beat. There's a touchdown. They do have a flag laying in the field, middle of the field, probably a holding call against North Davidson. At least that's where most of those penalties occur, right? Beyond the line of scrimmage, right around where the runner was. Yep, the referee does signal that it is a hold against the North Davidson Black Knights. So that's going to nullify that touchdown, bring the ball back. We'll recoup some of that personal foul penalty we had earlier. So 10 yards from the spot of the foul will make the placement the 20-yard line now with a repeat first down, 1st and 20, 1st and goal on the 20-yard line. And Butts in the backfield with Kennedy and McCoy, both of them looking over to the Black Knight coaching staff for the play call. Here's the snap to Butts. He looks to his left. Now he drops straight back.
Just a little toss over the top.
Kind of dinks it over the line. Now McCoy is not going to be brought down easily. We can't. You're not going to arm tackle these ball carriers. Now we have looks like another flag thrown by the far side referee, linesman, and they're running over to that was thrown way back in the backfield.
I don't see a call being made. What do we got here?
Could have just been a sideline warning against the Black Knights.
Coaching staff.
So Joe Butts looks over for the call from the sideline with Kennedy McCoy in the backfield. The lone running back in the backfield with Butts. Here's the snap. A
quick handoff and goes in untouched.
That hole was big enough to drive a school bus through.
Yes, sir.
I think we got another holding call over on the far side.
Are they going to bring it back? Let's see.
The referee was giving a holding signal from, or he's calling motion. Maybe he's calling motion. So the touchdown was scored by McCoy, but the flag is they're going to call illegal procedure against North Davidson. So that's the second touchdown that's been taken off the board in the last couple minutes. So timeout called by Coach Mark Holcomb from the North Davidson Black Knights. He's probably not really pleased with this series of downs. They've made a lot of
uncharacteristic
mistakes, some of their penalties, and I'm sure he's explaining to them in a very fatherly way.
Very fatherly, I'm sure.
How we play football at North Davidson.
And that's not it.
That is not the way he wants them to perform. And on the other side of that emotion is the 28-0 losing team, Glen Bobcats. Coach Aldine Payne, who, in my opinion, is the finest person you want to be around. He's the kind of person that you can't help but root for.
Yep.
He was a great softball coach here at Glen High School for years, won a lot of games here, and this is his fourth year or fifth year, I think it is, in the football program, and he's done it the right way, and sometimes things go your way and sometimes they don't. And this year's been a little bit of a struggle again, but
North Davidson back on the ball.
And Butts is still in at quarterback with McCoy. Number one is Kennedy McCoy, who is off to the right side of the quarterback. Here goes in one of the receivers goes in motion. McCray. Butts drops back to pass.
Under pressure.
Gets it up in the end zone, and it is
missed. Incomplete.
I couldn't tell if the Glen guy deflected it, but they both, there was a receiver and a defender that came down.
And we have a Glen guy still on the field.
The Glen defender is laying on his stomach in the end zone. May have got the wind knocked out of him. Can't quite tell that number right now. I don't know if it was. No, it's not 24. I see him. That's Donald Carter Jr. He's okay, but trainers are attending, and Coach Payne walks down to check out the status of the injury. It's
Number 8.
Number 28.
Yeah, he's up on his own free will, walking back to the sideline.
Is it 28 or 38? It's like 38.
38.
That would be Elijah Jennings. Elijah is a junior linebacker, 5'10", 175.
We're back up on the line.
Third down and 2 to go on the 7-yard line.
The ball was not snapped to the quarterback on that one.
And that was
a little trick play on that.
A touchdown run by. Did Miller receive that from the center?
Yes, sir. Straight snap.
Was it number 6 or
number 2? Wasn't it?
Was it number 2?
I think it was number 2. Yeah, Walker
Jarvis. So Daniel Leonard trying to tack on the 35th point here in the first half for the North Davidson Black Knights. The kick is up. It is good. So just like that, it's 35-0 with the Black Knights in total control of this football game.
With 2:29 remaining in the first half.
I think almost the entire ball game has been played in their half of the field.
North Davidson half.
Yep.
Now, if you're the coach, what are you going to tell the Glenn team when you go in the locker room at halftime?
Well, I know a lot of these kids personally, and you got to treat each one of them very carefully. But Coach Payne's going to tell them, guys, you go back out there and take pride in what you're doing. Don't fold up the tent. You wear the orange and blue for a reason, and go out there and give it your best effort. And if you get beat by a better team, then be a man about it and take it. But go out there and give your full effort, and I'm sure these kids will respond. It's got to be a little tough, I mean, you read a lot of hype about North Davidson before they get here, and it's not hype when you can back it up.
Right.
And they're definitely a quality football team, and I guess the Bobcats are going to have to see if they can muster up some kind of a momentum here in the second half. We got the kickoff that was taken around about the 5-yard line again by number 3, Meredith. He is
manhandled.
It was almost like a
rodeo
takedown. Going to tie that steer up on the 20-yard line.
Okay, let's see if Glenn can hold it together this last 2 minutes of the game and maybe put a decent drive together.
The first 2 minutes of the first half, 2 minutes, 21 seconds to go. The ball is resting on the 21-yard line of Glenn. Keller looks over. And here goes the snap to Keller. He rolls to his left, pitches out. Kier almost broke it, but he great pursuit by the secondary of the Black Knights. He did turn it upfield for about a 4 or 5 yard pickup.
Looks like he's at about, the 28, 29-yard line?
Now, Monday night we had a junior varsity game here against Reagan, and I was on the sideline taking pictures, and the one play they kept hollering from the sideline was elephant, and it turned into 7 touchdowns. So we need to get the elephant back out of his closet.
We need to bring the elephant out.
So that was the freshman Braxton Rory. Pass is ruled incomplete. I think he came out of bounds coming down the sideline.
This little kid, the little ball boy, I've seen him. We need to suit him up. I've seen him throw balls to this kid, and he's caught them in amazing fashion.
Well, we've known to do some strange things. Here goes a pitch out again. Kier, he turns up the field. He does get there.
Got a little big flag on the play.
Probably a hold in that position, trying to free him up for some more yardage as they turned up the field over toward the far sideline. Referee discussing it. Looks, they're marching it off against the Bobcats. They're going to call the penalty is going to be holding against Glenn.
She's going to bring them back almost to the line of scrimmage on that one.
You really hate that when you get a good, forward progress, but the reason you got the forward progress is somebody was holding somebody, and that's just nothing seems to be going right for the Bobcats.
And you got to know that in their mind they're giving it everything to get that extra yard.
Yes, they are. So Mr. Keller is back in shotgun formation. Here's the rolls to his left, looking down the field, throws it across to Razak, and it is incomplete. There's a penalty flag for.
It looks like
I don't know if the Bobcat player said something that didn't agree with the referee. I know he was discussed.
Defense was leading with the head on that. I've heard on that one.
Personal foul.
So that's gonna play majorly in favor of the Bobcats.
That's going to give them a first down.
And it puts it on the 37 for the Glen.
So Glen's 37-yard line. It gives them a first down and 10 with 1:29 to go in the first half. Get receiver split out. That's Rory split out here to the left, right outside the hash marks. Keller under center. Takes a snap, pitch out, reverse pitch out to number 15, or not?
Is that? Looks like, yes, 15.
Yeah, that's the freshman.
Brings it out to about the 41.
Deshaun Razak. So he picked up about 4 yards on that play, second down and 6. Clock is moving with just over 1 minute to go before halftime. Keller with the option play, keeps it, tucks it down.
Oh, we need a flag on that one. He grabbed him by the helmet.
It was kind of a horse collar tackle. Which
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to call that, but he was, when he got around the tackler, he reached up over his shoulder and did grab him. That is
In the
generally,
headlock
they
position.
usually call that a horse collar personal foul, but they have not thrown the flag.
Got a player down on the field. Is that a North Davidson guy?
Yeah, I believe it is North Davidson player. They have their trainer out on the field. So it looks like it remains third down and 6, long 6 yards to go. The ball is resting on the 39-yard line now, or 41-yard line.
Looks like the North Davidson player's having a little assistance getting off. It's like maybe his ankle or his knee, maybe.
And I can't tell what number he is. .7 seconds to go. North Davidson on top, 35-0. And the timeout because of injury. Both teams are on the sidelines getting some instruction from their coaching staffs. And
at this point, I'm saying go long. Okay, we're back under center at the.
So Keller takes the snap, looks to his left, throws it out to DJ Miller, who drops. That is a forward pass. That's an incomplete forward pass.
That was thrown just a little behind him, but still catchable.
So 53 seconds to go in the first half. Fourth down. And Evander Silva is back on the field for yet another punt attempt. He's going to be kicking it. He'll hit the ball around his own 30-yard line after he receives the long snap from Mr. Austin Wall, the center for the Bobcats.
Austin's been very consistent on his long snaps tonight. Had a few times to practice it.
Yes, he has. Galdine just calls a timeout for the Bobcats.
It's only week 4. He doesn't know he's on the punt.
Get a second chance to give them that last minute for the last minute.
Yeah, they Bobcats had trouble getting lined up properly for the punt, which has been a common occurrence. Some of these young players are just not. Sometimes their mind is not totally focused on what's going on the field, and you have some of those issues come up, and I'm sure they're hearing from Mr. Payne about. We practiced this all week. Why didn't you know how to do it?
Right. Why are we having this problem now?
Yeah. So we will line them back up for this punt attempt again with Mr. Silva standing around the 27-yard line. He'll probably hit the ball around his own 30. Donald Carter in 24 is his protector. There's a good snap, and there's a boot by Silva. The ball is touched, fumbled by North Davidson, and
it looks like Glenn recovered.
They gave that recovery to the Bobcats
on the 27.
Tyree Logan jumped on that fumble for Glenn. They've only got 41.9 seconds, but they do have for the first time tonight, a short field. They're going to be starting from the 28-yard line. First and 10 on 28. They're on the North Davidson 28.
All right. Let's see. We got out of the shotgun. A little high snap.
Keller.
Quick pass over to number 15.
And he's going to be caught.
Oh, and North Davidson thought he was going to show off a bit and sling him around. And it didn't work on that one, did it, Mike?
The tackler had a hold of him and was going to throw him down, and he slipped out of his hands.
He needs to go back to his fundamentals. You wrap him up, and then you tackle him.
So with the clock still moving, as the quick snap, Keller looks to his left. He lofts it up in the air. He goes out of bounds. That will be no good.
And they're saying it's a touchdown.
That was that may have been the world's worst call by a referee. he was almost up here in the press box.
I was going to shake his hand and say, "Good luck, man. Let's get the second half going with that."
He wasn't. He just ran out of bounds.
Out of bounds, and he was out for at least 4 yards before he come back in.
And looks like the North Davidson coach is, which I don't think he's allowed to come clear across the field, but he's over here talking to the referee.
Yeah, North Davidson coach is not accepting this non-call.
That had to be the most obvious call in the world, and I don't know if that referee is that blind, how can he call offsides?
Thank you. Well, some of our colleagues were up here talking about there's only one of the referees knows only one call, and he's called it on every play.
So, Bobcat fans, you were just handed a Christmas gift awfully early, because that young man, Mr. Rory, was about 3 to 4. He was down where my photographer is, Miss Cameron Hutchins. He was beyond her, out of bounds.
Beyond the red line, and out for more than 4 yards.
And we're not playing soccer, so the orange line is already out of bounds.
Already out of bounds.
But that one will go down in history as a. It's one thing to make these kind of calls. What if it was a close ball game? That would have been horrible.
That would have been extremely horrible. I'm glad it was done in favor of Glenn. Don't take that the wrong way, but
Lewis's kick is wide right, so he shanks it off to the right, misses it. So the good thing is the Bobcats got on the board. The bad thing is we had to have the referee to do it for us.
Yeah.
And that was, you don't want to see that on either side. Obviously we're broadcasting Bobcat football, but that was definitely
a blatant miscall.
It was horrible. And I don't know if they're. I don't think Aldine will be talking to that referee, because he didn't want to get him upset.
Right,
He's already given him a touchdown.
I'd be buying him a soda or something at halftime.
And the thing is, it's on film too, so we'll look at it. We'll look at it at the game in the film room on Monday that
yes, sir.
How far out of bounds he was.
Because it appeared he just kind of like gave up and then realized, that, hey, I can still get back in here.
And the ball was right there.
Yeah.
So he kind of made a couple steps and said, I'll step under this ball, and just walked into the end zone. And the defender was knowing, well, you've been out of bounds 5 yards. I'm not going to touch you. Because that would have been a late hit if he'd have started hitting him after he came back.
Right.
So whatever happened, happened. And at 8.4 seconds.
Maybe that's just the shot in the arm that Glenn needed to put some more points on the board.
Mr. Dylan Lewis is in kick formation. Here goes the pooch kick. It's going to come down around the 35, and it goes out of bounds on the 35.
And we have a flag on the play.
It's out of bounds kick as a penalty.
Okay.
Illegal procedure. So they will spot the ball at the 35. So the ball goes out of bounds and is placed where it goes out of bounds on the 37-yard line. 1st and 10, 8 seconds. There's a pass off to the left side, and the receiver hauls it in, goes out of bounds after about a 7-yard pickup.
7 yards.
Not to be confused with a 5-yard SUV.
Oh, okay. I see the image there. A pickup or an SUV.
So the Bobcats, another self-inflicted penalty. So they didn't let that play stand. They just called a penalty on the Bobcats before the snap. So 1st down and about 5 yards to go from the 42-yard line. And we got 84 seconds. That's a long time for
84 seconds, huh?
We might be able to score 35 points. You give us
84 seconds. Is it malfunction night tonight?
That must be a German clock or something. Now we got 90 seconds. Now we got 9.
I'm confused.
I think it should be 8.4 if we're going to make it exact.
There it is.
Okay, now we got it right.
All right. North Davidson back on the line, back out of the shotgun.
And is that McCray, or he's going to heave it? There's a Hail Mary. And
Intercepted
on the 1 or 2 yard line, but
and he's coming back out of the end zone.
So they're going to
flag on the play.
Flag way back up where the pass was. It's going to be holding against North Davidson. Personal foul against. Nope. So they have a personal foul against the Bobcats. They have a holding call against North Davidson as time expired, so they have one untimed down in the first half.
So we will get making sure everything's okay.
So we'll get one snap to end this first half. We got 3 receivers out to the right. And McCray is back to throw.
He's looking. Oh, now he's under pressure here. And they go with the sack.
So he didn't throw the Hail Mary, but he was
looking.
Yeah, he was wanting to get rid of it, but he was corralled by the Bobcats over on the North Davidson side of the field. Coach Payne is having a discussion with the blind referee.
You sure that's not Ray Charles down there?
I don't know, but I'm telling you, there's some strange calls that go on. I don't know how they get by with some of this very questionable referee.
I'll go with questionable on that.
But we are finally at halftime with the North Davidson Black Knights on top 35-6. And they were trying to add points with the clock running out, throwing the ball with 8 seconds to go. But ball was intercepted, but it was to no avail because of some offsetting penalties. But you got to score when you can get an opportunity, I guess.
Yes.
Is the way they look at it.
Yeah, that's it.
In our halftime, we're going to have the North Davidson band on the field.
Is this the Blue Band group?
This is the... We need a blue screen for those in the blue suits to dance in front of.
The North Davidson band comes out, and their percussion line that's set up in front of us is wearing the blue overalls, it looks like.
It's like a royal blue, looks like. That's almost Glen Bobcat blue.
Uh-oh. Can't have that.
We're going to get mixed up. We won't know who to cheer for. Looks like Mr. Meredith was getting his leg worked on, and Coach Gary Payne trying to keep up with him. And Gary could get a 90-yard head start on Kier Meredith and not beat him to the end zone.
That's pretty cool, Mike.
And Gary can outrun me, so we know how fast Kier is. We have some noise going on.
I think it's because the band has come up on the
Bobcat band. They're taking one of the Black Knight players off on the golf cart. We get more people coming here to have conversations. We're trying to have a broadcast. It's unbelievable.
I mean, you think they would recognize the talent that we have sitting here and who we are.
It's called lack of class on their part.
Once again, I'd like to say thank you for having me out, Mike. As we both know from the past broadcast and this broadcast that my football knowledge is not up to where it needs to be. But
since I was adopted as your son, as your uncle, I have to bring you wherever I go.
Well, my yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah, you want to leave that where it's at, so we both don't get in trouble.
Yes, sir.
But we're going to take a short commercial break so we both can catch our breath. It's been such an exciting half.
It has. Man.
I don't know what to say about the first half except North Davidson.
North Davidson is a strong team.
They put it on the Bobcats. But we're going to take a short break, so stay tuned. The score at halftime is 35, and we'll say 6 for the Bobcats.
We'll give them
very
that.
Reluctantly.
That's what the scoreboard says.
The scoreboard says 6, so we're going to give them the 6 points. And we'll be back on the air after a few commercial messages. And thank you for joining us.
Is your business going to die alone? Never meet the customers of its dreams? Just sit on the couch crying into a carton of ice cream while other businesses are out there thriving? New Expression can help. Without the right marketing, you're a wallflower. Without a great website, you're not going to turn heads. And without social media, you don't even have a friend to tell people what a great personality you have. New Expression can give your business a total brand makeover and get you out there, attracting customers. It used to be about who had the biggest ad in the phone book. Today, customers hit the web to locate and research before they call. If Google isn't steering customers to your site or they're not impressed by what they see, you're missing out. New Expression does web design and can provide a free analysis to see how your site stacks up against the competition. Don't have time to constantly update social media? Want cool custom apps and graphics? New Expression can help there too. From print design to mobile marketing to online presence to brand identity, New Expression can help you express yourself. Find out more at nuexpression.com.
Hey, it's Biggie, and I'm here with the 2013 Barbecue Pitmasters Alabama champions Ricky Wayne and Pig Daddy of Bibbs Downtown. Gentlemen, what's it like being reality stars?
Hey, it's almost as good as Bibbs Ribs, baby.
We're not Eastern or Western, we're Western.
I'll tell you one thing, I never trust a skinny cook, and these guys got it going on.
Hey, you can bring your family in, or if you like Biggie, come on in on Friday and get your Bibbs fixed.
It's barbecue with a downtown vibe.
They've got dine-in, takeout, catering, and a private event space. Be sure to follow them on Twitter and Facebook, and you can always check them out at BibbsDowntown.com.
Today, community means more than the place you live. It's groups of people connected by shared interests and similar experiences. Your yoga class, your work colleagues, your book club. With all the communities in your life, shouldn't there be one for your financial life? We're First Community. Financial experts here to work with you on your personal, business, investments, and insurance needs. That's the power of community.
We're back on the air, Mr. Folks. We're having a piece of pizza. We're kind of joining the press box conversation by these low-class people that don't have respect for the media.
They don't know who we are, Mike. I'm just saying.
And you know what the funny thing is? I know who they are. Mm-hmm. And they fit the bill to a T. The Black Knight Band is marching on the field, entertaining there must be over 300,000 people. Not here, but somewhere.
And your 3 listeners.
You want to ask that guy talking if he wants to be on the air instead of talk over in the corner? Since we can hear him more than you hear us.
Maybe one day when he grows up and gets in a real broadcast position, he'll understand the importance.
I'm not sure he's going to live long enough to grow up with that altitude. So now we have the first half has come to a merciful close for the Bobcats.
Merciful close.
Is that a word, merciful?
Merciful? Is that with 2 R's? Or 2 C's?
2 M's.
Okay.
But the Bobcats, they started the game off with a opening kickoff fumble and basically opened the floodgates for the Black Knights to run down the field and just almost at will and do what they wanted to do. And again, the Bobcats were given a touchdown.
They were given a touchdown
toward the end of the first half. There was a pass down the left sideline from Greg Keller. The intended receiver was Braxton Rory, and Braxton was defended well by a North Davidson player. But around the 8 or 9 yard line, Braxton decided that he'd go out of bounds.
Just meandered out.
Yeah, he did. He just kind of wandered out, and he looked back over his shoulder, and lo and behold, the ball was coming right to where he should have been. So he took about 2 steps
and was on point.
Caught it. The defender had already ended the play because you can't do that.
Right. And he knew that if he hit him after he caught the ball, he's got a penalty
because he'd been out of bounds. And the referee was trailing the play. Don't know how many eye patches he had on, but we do know that there was a tremendous fog that came across the field from about the Glen 10-yard line to the end zone, and you could barely see your hand in front of your face
because it was horrible. It was a Scooby-Doo moment
because you certainly couldn't see a football player run out of bounds in front of you.
No, sir.
That we have proof of that.
It was either that or somebody woke him up from his nap when they were screaming at him.
But I've got to say that for missed calls in any athletic event, that may be one of the most obvious ones I've ever seen in my life. And I know that
if we can get a copy of that,
it's going to be on all the game films.
We need a copy of that for YouTube. It'll go viral.
I mean, when you can't catch the ball in bounds, you walk out like you're going to get a glass of water, then come back in and catch it. That's how you do it.
I'm going to call down to Panthers this weekend and just to see if they'll put that play in.
That'd be called the, that's where you have what they call an out route. That was really an out route. That was an out of bounds route.
That was an out and out.
Over and out. But we haven't even mentioned that we're missing a couple of our regular on-air. We call them on-air talent or not? What do you think?
Personalities.
Their personalities, all right. Mr. Alec Hodges, who is, I believe, having a family gathering tonight. It's his mom's birthday, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Alex's mom.
She is a great lady that allows me to, I'm not going to say use and abuse her young son, but
you violate the child labor laws?
Well, do you call what he does work, though? I mean, if you can't, if it's not work, it's not labor.
Well, that's true. Define work. That's that's what you'll get in court. Define work.
We know he's not getting paid, so it can't be work.
Can't be work.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, Alex, some birthday cake would be nice.
And
Tell
then,
Moms we would like some of that.
And then our other announcer, who is the head wrestling coach for the Glen Bobcats, is Mr. Kyle Spencer.
Who was I was his co-host.
You were.
We were a team.
You were both in the booth at the same time. He has previous engagements now on Friday nights. He does some work here at the school. He's not always available to do the games on the air, but so I took off last Friday night, and when I come back, they've all abandoned me. So and they had the nerve on the air to say that I didn't need to come back. I wasn't welcome back because they did such a fine job.
Well, I wasn't going to say nothing, but you know.
So you were on that same bandwagon, right?
No. I'm just surprised I got invited back.
Well, I'm not sure invite was the right word.
as Uncle Mike puts it.
How about begging and pleading but no,
so that's what you call it. You need to be here at this time and this date. And that's begging and pleading.
After all, I did buy a car from your employer. Okay, so you need to help support him.
Yeah, let's okay.
Let's change the subject a little bit and talk about a little bit of quarter midget racing because tomorrow is race number 12. Is it
12
in the 15 race season?
Mm-hmm.
And they've had 3 rainouts.
Right. So
explain to me, what are we going to do on the points? Do you still get to keep your 11 best shots for the points, or do we?
Yes.
So
the rainouts count as a race. If nobody raced that rain out, like let's say if it rained a complete race out, then there's no points for that race. So nobody gets points.
Okay.
In a case that happened to us was half the race got raced.
Mm-hmm.
Then that half of the racers raced because there's different classes. So half of the classes raced, they got points, and there was our half that didn't race. We didn't get points. So it's automatic. Nobody gets points for that race.
So you're trying to confuse me.
It took me 2 weeks to figure this out.
So we have race 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 left.
Mm-hmm. 5 races left.
And that will determine the season championship. Then we have the Carolina Fall Nationals Thanksgiving week.
Yes, sir.
Now, that's a race kind of in your honor because it's Turkey Day, right?
Right.
Okay.
They give me, a podium and
do they?
And then they give me a baster, and then they say cook. So it's Turkey Day.
But that is a 7-day event, I guess. They start coming in the 23rd. It'll be a Sunday.
Actually, last year they started coming in the week before.
Yeah, some of the kids do.
Yes, sir.
Because they come from as far away as California to race in these. And then you got one of my favorite drivers in the country is Mr. Carson Hocevar.
Carson Hocevar
from Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Carson Hocevar, did you know, is the winningest quarter midget driver in history?
I thought he was about to get there. Yep.
Yes, sir. He's there now.
But he's also a great young man. He reminds me. I had the privilege of interviewing Ryan Blaney, who graduated from NCQMA. And Carson has that same personality, and he's such a fine, level-headed young man. He's fun to talk to. And when Ryan Blaney was, we had that reunion where we had some of the graduates.
Right, I remember that.
Jared Irvin and Ryan Blaney and Tyler Ankrum. And it's no wonder those young men are successful in what they do. They're just such outstanding young men.
Yes, sir.
And they have a love for racing. And when you're Ryan Blaney, you got more than a love for racing.
You got it in your blood.
you already won races in nationwide in the truck, and you've had a few cup races.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to run for Wood Brothers
next year
in the Cup Series. But he's the same humble young man he was when he was racing quarter midgets.
Yes, sir. Now this is our second year, or actually our first year. We've completed one full year because we started close to the middle or the end of last year. Mm-hmm. We met a family from Georgia. The Buckleys.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Preston Buckley.
Buckley.
Now, I have to say, my son, I love him. He's a great driver. I support him 100%. But the kid that comes up to us and just hangs out and just is all, just the same kid at our track, that every track we've traveled to, because we travel to some of the tracks as well. Mr. Preston Buckley is hilarious. he gets out there, and you mentioned Mr. Hocevar. Preston come to our track during the Carolina Clash, and the first thing he did, he come up, he says, Mr. Kirby, I beat Hocevar.
People like when they beat Carson, they've really done something.
They've done something. They have really done something. Carson's the driver. He always has top-notch stuff and finishes up front.
He has his own traveling crew chief.
He does. Yes, he does.
And so that's impressive.
Yeah, they and people, when you tell them quarter midget, they think go-karts. You don't need a crew chief with a go-kart.
No, this is not go-kart racing.
No,
folks.
sir.
This is top-notch. I interviewed Ron Stanley on the pre-race show the last time we raced. And he is such an interesting, intriguing man, Mr. Stanley is.
He is.
And he has a wealth of knowledge about racing, knows anybody and everybody who's ever been around a racetrack.
Yes, sir.
And he built a car for Jeff Gordon, quarter-midget car for Jeff Gordon. Jeff's stepdad had him, I think, flew him out to California and said, I want you to build one just like that car. And that's what got Jeff Gordon. Did he ever make anything of himself, just Jeff Gordon guy?
I've heard the name.
Have you? By the way, he has a Chevrolet dealership. That's it.
Well, now, I know what Jeff Gordon works at Flo Chevrolet Paint and Body. Is that the same guy?
He don't drive 200 miles an hour, I don't think.
No,
Not the one you know.
No. But it's funny we're talking about the cars and the crew chief. Somebody, people don't understand the aspect of the cars. We, my son and I, purchased a car from Drew Blickensurf, who is the crew chief for Marcus Ambrose for Richard Petty Motorsports, which many people don't know it, but Drew Blickensurf is Ron Hornaday's son-in-law. So we go to pick up the car.
Are all you guys from Arkansas? No.
We're cousins, but from different moms.
Okay. So Drew Blickensurfer is yours. You bought a car from Drew Blickensurfer.
Right.
Or as Carl Edwards says, just Drew.
Drew, yeah, because he can't say Blickensurfer.
Can't say his last name.
So we go to pick up the car, and I'm like, why aren't you guys racing it anymore? And Ron Hornaday, you got to know Ron Hornaday. I love him to death. He's a great guy. I talk to him lots of times. He goes, we just couldn't get the car figured out, boy. I said, well, Ron, we'll take it off your hands. We bought the car. We took it home. We set it up. My son, Luke took the car and was 2/10 off a track record the first day out with it. Wow. Ron come over with a fine-tooth comb and went over that car. What did you do? What'd you do?
Well, they put a good driver behind the wheel. That's what they did.
That's all they did. We just changed the air pressures, Ron.
And you did it all within the rules, too.
It was within the rules.
There you go.
If there's anything illegal with our car, I don't know about it.
Well,
but I don't set it up. And I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding if anybody's listening. I do all of the work on our car with a little help from some friends.
Well, tomorrow we're going to be down at the NCQMA at 1 o'clock on the air. Bring the A-mains. And also, just in case there's a quarter-midget racer listening, registration begins at 7 p.m. on September 24th, which is Wednesday evening of this coming week, for the California Fall Nationals. You cannot register at 6:59 p.m. or 6:59.8957431 p.m. because it's locked up until the computer time, and wherever that computer is at, hits 7 o'clock Eastern. Then
is that the one that's in the government building?
It's 43 stories below the ground,
that's
somewhere around here.
Okay.
And then we will cease registration at 10 p.m. on October 31st.
And if you're wondering why that's so important, if you're the first one to register, you're the last one to qualify.
Yeah, they take the registration order and they invert it for your class of qualifying, and you don't want to be the first one to qualify.
Mm-mm.
You want to wait till that track is worked in and everything is good to go. And as I was telling our computer or the company that we deal with to develop these programs, he said, well, why is it so important? I says, there will be people sitting at home with their hands on the keyboard with everything but the last letter typed into the registration.
That's the way we were last year.
And they'll go,
Yes, sir.
So there is a lot of, it's like there's as much competition on that as there is during race day.
It is. It is. And, like you said, the track's got to get rubbered up, as they call it, and get warmed up, because at that time of the year, it's going to be cold.
We're going to be down there broadcasting, I would think, probably Friday for the lower mains heat races, and also for the big races on Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. I went last year and was actually just doing photography and covering the races, but to see all this talent come into the NCQMA, which track was built by none other than Bobby Labonte.
Bobby Labonte, yep.
And he has every right to take a lot of pride in what everybody considers the best quarter midget facility in the country.
Yes, sir.
Because he did it the right way. I mean, it's a top-notch facility.
Yep.
And a lot of the kids that race down there, some of them may never race again, but some of them, a majority of them, you're probably going to see at a short track on Saturday night.
Yes,
in a late model.
Yes, sir.
Or maybe even a dirt track somewhere, because you can't take that racing blood out of your veins once you get it. And as long as they all understand that, there's only 43 guys that race on Sundays.
Yep.
And there's 43,000 of them every Sunday waiting to do that.
Yes, sir.
You may or may not make it.
And another 63 racing on Friday night.
Yep.
Another 73 racing on Saturday night.
But I want to see Luke, your son, Luke Akers. I want to see him race at Bowman Gray. You mentioned that earlier, and I thought you were just kidding.
No,
but,
sir.
Luke, Luke reminds me. There's a couple of drivers up there that I got to know a little bit, and they're kind of like Luke, kind of quiet and reserved. And you would think that when they got out on the track, they were going to be bullied around. But they had the old horns out when that green flag waved.
It's like a red flag.
Yeah, you're not. I don't care who you are. You're not going to push me around.
Right.
And I guess I don't want to see Luke ever get. I think you were saying earlier we were talking about how, when he has enough of something, he can really. I don't know if I want to see that side.
Don't want to see him snap.
But I think it would be fun to watch him race in that environment up at Bowman Gray, because, it's such a prestigious place to race because of the history.
Right.
But it's also a lot of strange things happen at Bowman Gray.
A lot of strange things happen.
People win that you wouldn't think would win, and vice versa.
Right.
But, they pack that place almost every Saturday night with, 12, 15, some thousand people in the horseshoe.
In the horseshoe.
And to me, it would be a thrill just to drive out on the starting grid and see those people.
Yes, sir. That's what Luke wants.
Because I've talked to quite a few of the guys, and I always ask them, do you remember your very first time? And they all tell me, you go out there and you stop on the starting grid, and you're so nervous that your car shakes. Your legs go, because it's really,
it's really that nervous.
Here I am in Bowman Gray getting ready to start. Speaking of getting ready to start and getting ready to quit talking.
Yeah.
We have a football game about to get underway here in the second half.
We're having a race conversation and a football game breakout. Come on.
How dare somebody do that? But, and as we said earlier, we do not have fun on our show, and we are very professional.
Yes, sir.
That's why we're here.
Yes, sir.
We've withstood all the ratings debacles and all the other stuff, and all the sponsors that have walked away. We're still here.
On your channel, we are the number one rated show on your channel.
That's right. And we also have the world's best barbecue as our sponsor, Bibbs Downtown.
Yes, sir.
So where the barbecue is not Eastern, it's not
Western.
It's Bestern.
It's Bestern.
We get when we say that enough, we get a free hush puppy when we go to.
Wait, you got one?
We're actually having a show there Monday night. We're having the Reagan Raider football team come in for Monday night show this month, so it's going to be fun. Bobcats are in kick formation with the Black Knights receiving it. There's a pooch kick's going to come down around the 40.
Ooh,
that's going to be a penalty. He had a fair catch,
and that's flags flying all over the place on that one.
That was a fair catch, and we had one or two Bobcats that. They were thinking back to this call over here.
Yeah,
they're saying
we can do what we want.
See if the guy on the other side is as blind as the guy.
They thought the same guy had switched sides because they switched sides. They thought he switched sides. So let's see now
so the referee comes over to give us the official word on the flags. Personal foul against They're calling it headbutting. Plus, they just ejected a player for a headbutt.
What? A lot of question on that from the sideline.
And Donald Carter is the coach he's talking to, and Mr. Carter has a history of being a voracious football player at West Forsyth High School years ago. And we're having a discussion about.
And I'm thinking we'll take the penalty, but what is this ejection thing here?
I don't know what number he ejected.
Okay, so this kid across the way on the North Davidson side, holding up the sign with Z whatever on it.
Mm-hmm. They're doing eye tests for the players.
Okay.
So let's see who needs glasses.
Okay.
Can you read the Z from here?
Is that a Z?
I don't know.
It looks like I asked if somebody's got backwards.
So Mr. Coach Carter is beside himself about that call. So they've ejected a player. Don't know who that was ejected.
I don't, yeah. And it looks like Coach Carter's going over to talk to. Who was it?
30.
I can't make it out. Back under play here.
The Black Knights took over at 46-yard line. They had a 1st and 10 on the Glen 46, and McCrae runs the ball for about a 7 or 8 yard pickup. 2nd down and a long 2 for a 1st down.
Looks like, is it number 3 there, 31?
And we got Kennedy McCoy in the backfield. We got Khalil Miller in the backfield, and we got
North Davidson stopping them at the line with the run play up the middle.
Looks like number 38 was the player that I believe has been ejected for the Bobcats, and that would be Elijah Jennings, the linebacker. He's on the sitting on the bench, and players are coming over and consoling him. And he did nothing on purpose. I'm sure. Just
another handoff up the middle.
Nobody to tackle, and he breaks 1 tackle and 10 tackles, 4 tackles, and runs and falls into the end zone for a touchdown. Now, why did it take 2 referees that long to make a call we made up here? And we're 100 yards away from the call.
And it took 2 of them an extensive amount of time to make a call.
That's what the Z is for. They're checking the referees' eyesight. That's what
it is.
That's okay. So just like that, the Black Knights have added another touchdown here with 10:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. And they got another kicker.
Is that kicker tall enough to be on the team?
Let me see. I don't know, but he's got a good leg. He kicks the extra point. I can't read his number with those jerseys.
20, I'm hearing.
There's a
Blake Andrews. He's wide.
That would be Clay DeHart. Clay DeHart, number 26.
Yeah.
Now, that's my size of a player, 5'3", 125. I can look him right in the eye and tell him he's good.
Come here. I want to tell you something. You're good.
I can look up to you.
How tall are you, Mike? What, 4'8", 4'9"?
3'11". I remember when I was 4'11" for a long time.
Really?
And when I hit 5 foot, I thought I'd become a grown man.
Oh, my.
But it's gone downhill from that. So now we have a 42-6 ball game with the Bobcats trailing, and here just beginning the second half after a penalty on the kickoff, an ejection to a Bobcat player, and here's a kickoff from Leonard, I believe it is.
And they're going deep with that one.
It's going to
back at his own goal line.
No, that's a touchback.
Touchback.
You can't bring the ball out of the end zone, so he caught it in the end zone. So Mr. Meredith fielded that kick over on the far sideline right along the numbers that are painted on the field, which we were commenting with the former athletic director here, that we think the numbers should have been painted a little bigger. But But they have someone here that likes to paint them smaller, so we have them smaller.
They don't know us older people, do they?
They don't realize that you got to take care of the older people. Keller is looking confused, tried to pitch it out, didn't have
and still
time
fight.
to get rid of it, and he fought hard for about 5 yards.
Yeah.
Stops it at 25. Was your pizza good?
My pizza was okay.
Mine still is good. I'm still eating.
56 coming in for the Bobcats.
That would be Brennan Gilly.
Center set.
I don't think
Look to the
Brennan
sidelines for some signal calling.
I don't think Brendan's a country music singer, Gilly.
No, that's not Mickey's nephew.
I don't think so.
All right, under play action went to the outside.
And maybe gained 2 or 3 yards.
As long as we got forward movement, we can work with that. We just got to get a lot of it now.
Well, the one thing that Coach Payne emphasized this year is we need to get 4 yards every down, and then you'll keep the chains moving.
Right.
They're not going to be an explosive type of team, but 4 yards will give you a 3rd down and 2, which is manageable on this kind of offense. So we got a 3rd and there's a pass out. It's going to get. That was a great read by that defender, number 5. Now we got
a flag.
Taunting on the defense, I believe.
Yeah, he just sat there and read that play. That was just, and still got the player down on the field.
It's Nigel Dalton, number 5.
Number 5, I'm hearing, was using his helmet on that play.
So Dalton is, as they said here in the next to us. We got a coach who's there's another flag.
Another flag.
Well, yeah, I think the coach might have. I think our coach might have said something, but it is kind of disturbing that the player who actually caused our injury is over in the middle of the field celebrating.
And he's done it. He's done that hit twice.
And it just doesn't it doesn't add up that he was allowed to get away from. There's a kid. Why isn't he ejected? Why is number 5 ejected?
Yeah, that's
same
that's
play
all
that the Glenn player had, and he ejected him.
So let's see what's going on here as the North Davidson coach comes out to center. Speaking with the
unsportsmanlike on the Bobcats. That was a penalty on our coach that went out and said something on the field as he was watching number 5 celebrate. I don't think it
didn't settle well
with him, and he made a comment and.
So at 9:34 in the 3rd.
Now we got more conversation with Coach Holcomb from North Davidson with the refereeing. You know, it's too bad that the referees' talent can't keep up with the athletic talent these players have. In all sports. I cover a lot of high school sports, and the least qualified people on the floor are usually the referees.
Yes,
the players work hard, the coaches work hard, then you can bring a referee who may or may not know what the rules are and may or may not make the call, or may totally put 2 blinders on and watch a player run out of bounds and catch a touchdown.
That's true. And it just happens over and over again.
Over and over again. And they get paid for that.
Back under snap, out to the right.
Number 4, that would be Damian Dobson.
Pickup of about 3.
So the Bobcats still have the ball down on their end of the field. About a 2nd down and about 7 and long 7.
How did we get a 2nd down? First down on the personal foul. Automatic first down. Number 4 is works at 3.
All right, good. Waiting on the play to be called in from the sidelines.
What's interesting, Kirby, is sit here and listen to the newspaper guys sitting over to our right.
Uh-huh.
Now they're trying to figure out what in the world is going on the field. There's a pass by Keller. He throws it away.
Way away.
Over the
hits the cheerleader.
I think he was throwing it to that second cheerleader behind the water bucket.
She had her hand up. I don't know if she was cheering or asking for the ball.
She better be careful. They'll eject her if she gets too excited.
You're out of here, young lady.
How dare you cheer for your school? That's illegal.
That's illegal.
Bobcats will face a third and about 8, long 7. Keller is up under center, pitches out, reverse pitch, and it goes to DJ Miller, and he's going to run 600 yards and gain 3.
He's still fighting for it.
There's piling on right there. That should be a penalty, but we won't call that because...
Yeah, there's a flag down, so I think it's going to be a holding call.
Against Glenn, probably.
Probably.
Her band's all wound up about something down below us here. That's good to hear that band playing. So the man in the white hat comes out, says a chop block, decline, 4th down. Wow. I'm surprised they were able to see that.
Yeah. Oh, there's a...
Or he's just giving it back to
I was thinking, I was going to have to go down there. I was going to have to go down there, really.
Throwing the flag like that, oh my goodness.
Was he throwing it back or was he throwing it against him?
I think he was.
Because that's the one that made the bad call earlier.
So now we got Evander Silva, the soccer goalie, back in punt formation. He hits it about the 5-yard line. There's another number 5 running backwards.
And they bring him down.
And he is tackled. A little bit of extracurricular activity on the tackle is ignored by the referees.
He actually lost from the receiving point about 10 yards on that one.
He ran backwards, and that's not what you usually tell a kick returner. You only want to go forward.
You head towards the goal post.
And the Bobcats were able to surround him for a... He probably lost about 8-9 yards from the initial reception of that kick. But then Black Knights line up at the 43-yard line, their own 43, with 7:54 to go in the third quarter. And we're looking. Yeah, we got another flag. We got a... Is that going to be another flag for...
Against...
Oh, they're calling a flag for wearing an orange uniform. I've told Glenn not to wear those orange uniforms. It happens every week.
Dang it. I think there's too many men on the field with that one. One was trying to get off, and I don't think he got off in time.
The ball wasn't snapped. So I don't know. It is what it is. 5 yards, 1st and 5. Quarterback butts. There's another flag. They really got a case of yellow fever tonight.
They do.
Illegal procedure. They're going to get that 5 yards right back and have a 1st down and 10 again.
1st and 10. That was another one where he snapped it to, what's his name, number 16 there?
Well, Butts is the quarterback, number 16. They snapped it to, or Butts is number 15.
And they snapped it.
They snapped it to number 1 or number 6, maybe number 6, Miller.
That's the same play they pulled earlier. Looks like Miller's setting to get it again. They switched it up on it.
There's a pass out the flat. There's a little push in the back right there. The 3 blind mice come over to
make sure he's down. They got to make sure the ball's on the ground.
But that was a push in the back.
Yes,
that one
sir.
block.
That was a penalty.
Another obvious penalty. Maybe the referee has good far-sighted vision, but he can't see up close.
His peripheral's not good. Pass out to the left by Davidson.
There goes a hit. He is down for a 1st down for the 44 of Glenn.
Gain of about 3 on that one. Glenn's been doing well to hold them at a good pace if we could just get rid of the penalties here.
Get rid of the penalties, and 7-minute mark, 42-6. Butts at quarterback, takes the snap in the shotgun, tries to draw someone off sides.
Did not work.
Nobody made a call.
Didn't bite. The whole North Davidson squad turned around looking for the call.
Here goes a pass out to the left side. It is caught for about a 5-yard gain. Kirby, when I'm eating, you're supposed to be talking.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. As we come back under center, North Davidson lining up. Got number 5 in motion here. Lateral out. Number 6 that was. I'm sorry.
And that was number 20.
We need to have a meeting about their North Davidson jerseys so we can get legible jerseys here for old people like us.
They need to have them fluorescent with lights or something, neon lights.
Or somebody with a spotlight following it, like they do on the NFL.
Yep.
Oh, got a play action. Little draw. Gain of about 5 on that one.
That was close to a penalty on Zach Day. He came through and he pushed the quarterback after he had given the handoff.
Right.
The referee looked like he was going to reach in and throw the flag, but
it was a close question on that.
Mm-hmm. Screen pass set up beautifully. The blocker stopped for the Bobcats. That was or for the North Davidson.
Great stop by number 5 for the Bobcats. Dedrick
Hawkins,
yeah.
Josh's little brother.
That was a great open field tackle on him there.
So the chains keep moving toward the Glen Bobcat goal line. Ball is now on the 16-yard line with 5:20 to go in the third quarter.
5 in motion. Oh,
that's a fumble. They haven't made a call yet. They're going to call the fumble.
No,
they have no idea.
Nope, they're not going to call it. They're just calling it an incomplete pass on that one.
2nd down and 10 from the 16-yard line. 5 minutes and 12 seconds to go with the Bobcats trailing 42-6 to the North Davidson Black Knights.
Davidson takes a pull-up, looks at the sideline for the call.
Butts is at quarterback.
Quick handoff to number 1.
Handoff to Kennedy McCoy, and he
goes in for a touchdown.
That was didn't look like a real good effort on the part of the Glen defense. He
they just kind of let him
meandered around the would-be tacklers and found his way into the end zone.
Need to stay a little more. Even the mascot looks like he's down.
Well, it's a tough night for the Bobcat Nation. The extra point is up, and it is good. It should be 49-6 now, I believe.
There we go.
So it's 5:06 to go in the game, or in the third quarter. We wish in the game, but it's in the third quarter.
I'm guilty of the same comment earlier.
49-6. We're gonna pause for a short break from one of your favorite places.
Okay.
Hey, it's Biggie, and I'm here with the 2013 Barbecue Pitmasters Alabama champions, Ricky Wayne and Pig Daddy of Bibbs Downtown. Gentlemen, what's it like being reality stars?
Hey, it's almost as good as Bibbs Ribs, baby.
We're not Eastern or Western. We're Western.
I'll tell you one thing, I never trust a skinny cook, and these guys got it going on.
Hey, you can bring your family in, or if you like Biggie, come on in on Friday and get your Bibbs fixed.
It's barbecue with a downtown vibe.
They've got dine-in, takeout, catering, and a private event space. Be sure to follow them on Twitter and Facebook, and you can always check them out at BibbsDowntown.com.
You can check them out at Bibbs.com, BibbsDowntown.com, but I suggest you go by and try them at Bibbs Downtown. No, for you guys that don't know me, I love eating.
Are you sure? I would have never guessed that.
I'm a connoisseur of food. Oh, and the kick is off. He's in the end zone.
I asked Kirby when I first met him, "How do you like your food?" He says, "In front of me."
One of my buddies once said, he said, "Hey, if you need anything done, Kirby will do it." Well, is he expensive? No, just have him a plate of food.
There you go.
Oh, you got a cookout? Kirby will be there.
Yeah, he'll be there. He'll lick the grill for you when you get them cooking those steaks.
Hey, I did that twice.
Is that what those marks are?
That's why that permanent tattoo is on my
The clock is down to 4:27 and running in the third quarter. And Mr. Keller looking over to the sideline for a play. Braxton Rory is coming back into the
lineup there.
It's going to be a. Now they finally called timeout. Didn't get to play in. The play clocks are not operating tonight. I don't know what has happened. They were operating.
They give up
the last game, but
they just gave up.
They probably, yeah, that would be a good way to put it. They probably gave up. Why don't we take another break while we got time here to pay another bill?
Today, community means more than the place you live. It's groups of people connected by shared interests and similar experiences. Your yoga class, your work colleagues, your book club. With all the communities in your life, shouldn't there be one for your financial life? We're First Community, financial experts here to work with you on your personal, business, investments, and insurance needs. That's the power of community.
All right, guys, we're back under the Friday night lights here at
I'm
Glenn.
still trying to finish this piece of pizza.
Mike's been working on that same piece of pizza for 3 quarters now and a halftime. Okay, we've got a fumble.
Back here, Mirrors, they stripped the ball.
Oh, and we got a flag on the play. So
Pierre Meredith had a good run going and got gang tackled. They ripped the ball from his from under his arms.
And I think
then there was a flag. Don't know. It's going to be marched off against the Bobcats. Obviously, it's heading in the wrong direction. 5 yard, maybe a face mask. I don't know.
And to see what Mr. White.
Well, he's given up on giving us signals. His arms are tired.
They're like noodles. All right. As we come back up to the line.
So the Black Knights take over on the 32-yard line. 1st and 10. There's a quick pass out that's
incomplete.
Makes a hop up to Kennedy McCoy. It is an incomplete pass, and actually 2 referees made the right call simultaneously.
Well, did somebody just throw in the towel over there?
Like the white towel was thrown on the field or from one of the players. And looked like Coach Bobby Martin, one of our first responders, goes out and enthusiastically picks it up and brings it back and throws it to the ground.
And North Davidson, there's another flag on the play as Glenn just wraps up the runner for a loss. Let's see what the flag's for. Number 24, a little slow to get up there for Glenn.
That's,
just Donald Carter.
Donald Carter Jr., DC we call him. And that was a flag thrown against the Black Knights. So now we're going to walk back the other way for 5, 10, 15-yard penalty maybe, or 10-yard penalty. Maybe it was a holding from the...
It brings them back to the original line of scrimmage.
I guess he gives a preliminary signal, and that's all he gives us. If we're not...
You got to be Johnny on the spot
with that. If you're not paying
one.
attention, I'm not going to tell you 3 times what that yellow flag was for.
And there's a snappy quick throw left out. He's out to the 40, 35.
Keeps his balance.
Out to about the 28 on that one.
He gained all that penalty yardage back. Now it's going to be a 3rd down and about 5 or 6. So the Black Knights are moving the ball again down toward the Glen goal line. Mr. Butts looks over to the sideline for a play call from his coaches. 2 receivers split right, 2 split left. 1 running back, he looks to his left, throws it out.
Right through his hands.
It is a let's run before we catch it.
Yes, sir.
Just like we had earlier on this side of the field. He saw the end zone before he brought the ball in.
That would be a little overzealous, wouldn't you think?
I would think. But now we're going to go for it on 4th down in the balls are on the 28-yard line, a 4th down and about a 5 or 6 yards, maybe a long 5. Here goes the Snap. He looks to his right.
He's rolling to his
He's
right.
rolled to his right. Tucks it in.
Under
high,
pressure.
Throws it. Intercepted by the Bobcats. That was Jordan Gerald. That was Jordan Gerald intercepting that pass.
On the 20-yard line.
I got to say a word about Jordan Gerald and Greg Keller, the quarterback. They were both quarterbacks, and when Greg won the starting position, Jordan went to defensive back, which is a very valuable player to our defense. But today I came to the school to take care of some business on the school here, and those two young men brought all my equipment up to the press box for me.
Wow.
Very nice young men. They were over in the coach's office, and they got the key to the press box, and they were just really nice young men.
Very good. Very good.
So you see, there's always something good in everybody.
In everybody. I'm still waiting on mine.
Of course, I think what they were saying was, we're going to take care of this old man so he doesn't climb up and down the stairs. So
They had a very good upbringing.
yeah, they did. Again, Mr. Aldine Payne is having a dinner invitation conversation with one of the three blind mice. I'm not which one it is.
That's the main one that could not see that go out. I hope he's going to be okay to drive home tonight if he can't see any better than that.
I think he has a ride on the North Davidson bus, I believe.
Okay. That's right. He came with those guys, didn't he? He's the governor of North Davidson.
I'm going to cover some Pop Warner football one Saturday. I don't think he ought to come referee it.
Hell, a handoff around the corner, and he's still up and moving.
So
or gain about 4.
DJ Miller gained 3 to 4 yards on that 1st and 10. 11:37 to go in the fourth quarter. 49-6. Bobcats trailing.
Well, at least it's not a shutout.
Thanks
Kinda.
to the referee. There's a front handoff to Mr. Kier Meredith.
Looks like a gain of 2 or 3 on that. 3 to give him. Kind of looks like the guy with the yardage markers going, oh, yeah, this looks right about, yeah, this right here. Before they even set the ball.
Oh,
we're back under center. I apologize for my non-comedical humor here.
I'm actually glad I'm not taking photos or have my wireless mic on the sideline, because that referee is so blind he'd probably run over me.
He would. Oh, nice run to the outside.
And that would
got
be
a first down going.
Mr. Meredith.
Ooh, nice. He's out to about the 40.
Kier actually he inflicted the punishment on the defender that time.
Yes, sir.
That young man he's a tough little ball player. He's a great baseball player. You're going to see him, I would say, playing college baseball here in about 3 years. He's really a great center fielder, unbelievable speed, good hitter. He made the alternate USA U18 team.
Wow.
That's how good he is.
Had a little snap out shotgun, a little pass over the middle, good catch.
They're going
to see if he calls it in.
Wait a minute. Why do you...
Oh!
What in the world?
He made a call, a good call.
He was going. He was
I think the contingents up in the press box this referee was giving one hand signal for something else and got called another thing.
Well, that was Braxton Roy, the freshman. He does that all the time on JV, and I'm glad to see he was able to haul that ball in. He went up and got it here on the sideline and did come down with his foot inbound. There's a throw across the middle. A little bit.
Now, was he one of the guys they just brought up for this game?
They brought up for this game.
He might have a position by the end of the season.
He's played in 3 football games, JV, and he has 8 touchdowns and 501 yards.
In 3 games.
3 ball games.
Let's give him the ball.
And one of his touchdowns against Reagan, he was tackled on the 20-yard line by 2 Reagan guys. He proceeded to carry them all the way to the goal line and then stretched over with the ball and made the touchdown. It was like, don't bother me, I'm just going to keep on going.
Leave me alone, I'm running here. A little quarterback sneak up the middle. He's running. He's got room.
Look at that stiff
Shakes the
arm by
defender.
Mr. Keller. Way to
Looks
go,
like we got
Greg.
another first down for Glenn.
And no yellow flag on
and
the
no
field.
flags.
Man, call the national media. We just had a play without a penalty, and they're moving the chains. And
Look at this. Wow.
No one got hurt. The ball boy's right on top of it. Here he comes back. He's faster than our running back.
That's the kid I was telling you about. That's the one we need to get him some pads. Get him some pads.
So here goes
There's a snap with a handoff to the outside.
No,
fake
right
up the middle.
The middle goes Mr. Keller for a. Come on, give it to him.
Give it to him. Oh.
The ball's got to break the plane. The ball was in the end zone.
Oh, man. The refs give it, and the refs take it. He's on but they're going to call it at the 1.
So it's 1st and goal with 8 minutes to go in the ball game, and the Bobcats are down on the 1 yard line. Here goes the snap to Keller. Handoff. He stopped
and he's
in. Did he get in the end zone?
Players are calling touchdown. What does the ref say?
They're running in from the sideline in 2 different.
Did that guy just drive in from
location.
Virginia? That referee just drive in from Virginia? Because he come out of nowhere running in.
So they're going to call it short of the touchdown again. Second down and 1 to go.
I think they need to pull out and do a rollout to the left here. There you
There's
go.
A touchdown.
Deny that one. Yeah. Deny that one. Glenn scores another touchdown.
So that was Kiara Meredith making that touchdown.
It's 49-12 before we go to an extra point here.
Comeback.
Comeback. We're on a comeback. We got 7 minutes. In 21 seconds, it can be done.
It could.
They move the chains like that every time they get the ball. It will be.
I suppose you're going to tell me they're going to put a man on the moon someday, too.
No, that's just a movie set out in California.
I thought it was in Arizona. Now we don't know. Come on.
They don't know where the tee is.
Come on, football team.
They hadn't had a chance to get it for a while. There it is.
They thought a tea was something you drank in a cup with sugar in it.
Tea? Are we playing golf? Oh. Oh, there's a snap. Kick is good.
Looks like a good kick, and it is right down the middle. While I finish this last piece of pizza,
That was a good pizza.
we're going to take a commercial break.
Okay, let's do it.
Is that okay with you?
I'm good. I'm good with that, Mike.
Score is 49 to
13.
7:21 to go in the ball game.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be back in 1 minute, which
Go.
is 60 seconds.
Is your business going to die alone? Never meet the customers of its dreams? Just sit on the couch crying into a carton of ice cream while other businesses are out there thriving? New Expression can help. Without the right marketing, you're a wallflower. Without a great website, you're not going to turn heads. And without social media, you don't even have a friend to tell people what a great personality you have. New Expression can give your business a total brand makeover and get you out there, attracting customers. It used to be about who had the biggest ad in the phone book. Today, customers hit the web to locate and research before they call. If Google isn't steering customers to your site or they're not impressed by what they see, you're missing out. New Expression does web design and can provide a free analysis to see how your site stacks up against the competition. Don't have time to constantly update social media? Want cool custom apps and graphics? New Expression can help there too. From print design to mobile marketing to online presence to brand identity, New Expression can help you express yourself. Find out more at nuexpression.com.
And I'm going to express myself. We missed a kickoff,
We
but it
missed
was
a
a
kick.
touchback.
As
As Mr. Kirby said, that was a good kickoff. And
That was a
landed in the end zone.
Yes, sir.
So the North Davidson Mighty Black Knights will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line with 6:38, 37. The clock is now moving.
Let's see if Glenn's defense can get back where it was, holding them off and
Need a little turnover,
pushing them back.
interception there. They run off the right tackle, 5-10.
And the ref goes
12.
down with them.
That's the best play he's made all night. And he was holding when he did that.
He was holding. The ref was holding on that play. Call him. Let's see.
28. He's a linebacker, 28.
What's the number of the guy in the backfield next to the quarterback?
80.
80?
80 is your number back there.
Okay, 80 is
He's an illegal player. He's not on the roster.
Ryan Williams.
And he gets wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, number 80 is Ryan Williams, who is one of the roster additions for the Black Knights. The Bobcat faithful are still in the stands. Their band is over here playing.
Cheerleaders and the dancers got it going on in there with the little orange pom-poms happening.
We haven't had any ejections in the last 10 or 15 minutes. We got 5 minutes to go in the ball game, and we have nothing going on the field. Now we have a play being called by the Black Knights.
Glenn's threatening a blitz on them.
We stand and we wait. It's a
what
slow motion play.
And he is taken down for a big loss.
You know, when you tackle somebody that hard, they should throw a penalty. Is this tackle football or touch football? I don't know.
I thought this was touch.
Because he threw that young man down to the ground.
I think Glenn has finally got the vengeance mode going on this one.
Well, they're
a little more aggressive this round.
Yep. Third down and...
Ooh.
We have a little trouble with the chain gang being in sync with the scoreboard. Sometimes the downs are not always in sync.
Correct.
The yardage sometimes is a little skewed.
Correct.
So the best thing that we can do is just use our own judgment.
Yeah, because he just moved that side marker 4 times.
And those are hometown boys. They should be...
They should be quick to give it to us.
They're going to punt the ball with a 4th and about 8 yards to go. And a nice little air under it.
And
already got a flag. I mean, there was
flag
nobody.
Was thrown where nobody was.
That was a penalty. You can't kick it to nobody. You've got to kick it.
He kicked it too high. He lost it in the lights.
This guy back here is Kelly. So he threw the flag 25 yards forward.
Let's see what kind of call we get on this.
Now, don't come and ask the blind guy.
There's some controversy between the refs what that call was for.
It's absolute confusion.
He's going like, I don't know. Okay.
And that's the same referee that flunked math in 3rd grade, and he counted too many players on the field.
Now, was that the same referee that hadn't thrown his flag all night? He just wanted to throw it.
He said, I'm going to show you how to do that.
I'll throw it 25 yards.
So the Bobcats will take over in their own end of the field at the 28-yard line.
I think 28 on that one.
Almost to the 30-yard line. I can hardly tell by those small numbers that the Bobcats painted on their field.
It's rough getting old, isn't it, Mike?
It is.
I live with it every day.
Yep. So now we got a new quarterback. I think that might be Matthew Washington, possibly. There's Kier.
Kier's shaking a couple. He gets out to see where they mark him at. Looked like he got out to about the 38, 39-yard line.
Yeah, the quarterback is Matthew Washington. He is a 5'11", 170-pound junior. We'll be calling signals here the last 2 minutes of the ball game, 49-13. Bobcats moving the ball, got a first down on the first play. Ball is up to the 39-yard line, 1st and 10. Washington with an inside handoff to D.J. Miller. He's got an opening at the line.
He's got an opening, and he breaks a couple tackles.
But he picked up 12 yards.
First down.
On that one run, he picked up 12 yards.
Gets out to about the
49
of the Knights.
48-yard line of the Knights. Now we have a stoppage of the clock. Referee called timeout.
Still got a Glenn player down on the field.
We have a Glenn player who is on the field on the far side.
Is that our quarterback?
No, here's a quarterback right here, number 9. Would be D.J. Miller, number 2. And North Davidson has one cramping, grabbing his legs.
Okay, let's see here. Well, the North Davidson guy's up.
Being helped off the field. Looks like he's just had maybe a leg cramp.
Those hurt.
They hurt terribly.
Man, they hurt. So it's still got a Glenn guy down.
A rather dejected sideline over here on the home side after 49-13 thumping by the Black Knights. There's our athletic director, Joe McCormick, heading over to the injured player. Now we got another coach running out to see. You hate to see injury anytime, but this late in the game with really nothing at stake right now, to have any kind of injury is a bad deal all around.
Yeah. So hopefully everything's all right down on the field.
Minute 18 to go in the game. Bobcats are trailing 49-13.
And now more coaches are going over. So once again, we have more background noise up here that we, it's just like
well, it's just a bunch of considerate people.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of considerate people from North Davidson High School.
Yeah.
What do you expect? When you have no class, you have no class.
Hey, their class is not in right now.
They're helping Mr. Miller off the field.
So let's see here. It looks like he's just shaken up pretty bad.
They are or helping Mr. Miller off the field very gingerly. Eric Dillo, who is one of the first responders for the Bobcat athletic program, helping over to the bench to further check out this injury possibility. I'm not sure if it's a leg or...
All right, back at the line. There's a snap.
So Washington going
He's airing it out. Oh, what did we get a flag on that?
A lot of contact.
A lot of contact on that one.
Both went up for the ball and they collided in midair.
And he's kind of dragging coming back up to the line.
I think he hit flat on his back, probably knocked the wind out of him momentarily.
And we got get the ball boy off the field.
Don't confuse him for one of our running backs. Don't tackle him. Nice slide on the sideline.
Quick pass out to the right. Ooh, North Davidson saw it.
They read that play perfectly and
missed a good interception.
Almost stepped in front of it for a pick six, but clock is moving with 13 seconds to go.
Time to get one more play off.
8 seconds.
Go deep. Go deep. 5. There's a snap. Quick right out to the...
That was to Braxton Rory. Again,
and that's the game.
That's going to end.
And there's a flag. Wait a minute. What is the flag? That may change the whole outcome of this.
Can't end on a defensive penalty. So we're going to call... he gained too many yards.
He gained too many yards.
Personal foul against the Bobcats. So the game comes to a close. Teams will make their way to midfield to shake hands. I
wonder how many grunts and snarls are going to happen when you go by handshaking. Bobcats
are making their way across the field. The coaches are shaking hands. The final score again is 49-13. This game was, I guess, it was destined to be this way from the opening kickoff, and the Bobcats dropped
Yes,
it
sir.
on the turf, and it was recovered.
Kind of set the tone for the whole game.
And a lot of sporting events, the outcome is sometimes more how you approach the game mentally than you physically. And once you tell yourself that this team is better than we are, this team is bigger, they're faster, and they're going to beat us, so we're going to get beat. And that's something that the coaches here at Glenn have really tried to instill in these kids, that the game isn't over. They're not going to beat you just because they step off the bus.
Right.
But it's a hard thing to convince a 15-year-old, 16-year-old young man who is outweighed by 80 or 90 pounds across the line that, go out there and give it everything you got, and good things will happen. But
what you alluded to it in the opening session of the game here, how North Davidson comes in with this big macho stereotype of domination, and they're expected this and they're expected that, and it's like you said, the guys from Glenn were probably intimidated by the persona before the first kickoff ever started.
Well, North Davidson, they have a great football team. They have great coaches. A lot of outstanding athletes. A lot of kids that are going to be playing college ball, and Coach Holcomb does a great job down at North Davidson. I was, like I said earlier, I was glad to see a lot of my old friends tonight. I still call some of them friends, and it was fun to talk to Kai Bunker, who he was our student intern years ago, and
he was a nice young fellow
he's
too.
Now a student at UNC Charlotte, and it was a game that, quite honestly, it turned out kind of the way I thought it might turn out. I expected quite frankly, the Bobcats to take a pretty good thumping because of the
domination factor,
the talent on the other side of the field versus what Glenn has. But the Bobcats, I can truthfully say, they never gave up. They kept playing hard.
Once they found that groove and got into it and realized that, hey, these guys aren't as bad as we thought they were.
And there was a few times during the game where the Bobcats took it to them.
Yes, sir.
They made some really aggressive type plays. Really, pulled their socks up tight and said, we can do this.
Yes, sir.
And when you get beat like this, you always try to look at what can we take from this game. And I think what Coach Payne is probably telling them right now is, hold your heads up, guys. You're going to get beat by some good teams.
And you're going to beat some good teams.
And some of the things we did tonight, he used a lot of freshmen, JV guys, and you live and die with those decisions. There was fumbles by some freshmen. There was, some passes that probably should have been thrown, even though it was by the regular quarterback. But overall, the Bobcats don't need to hang their heads. They need to realize that they were able to score 2 touchdowns. Now.
Yes, sir.
Well,
and
at least one on their own.
And they were also able to push back the North Davidson offense.
Yep.
The defense on Glenn's defense, they had their moments where they were not quite in the groove, but when they finally found that click and what groove, they were pushing back North Davidson yardage after yardage, putting pressure on the quarterback. And then, and then I guess when the offense saw that, they realized, if they can do that in defense, let's flip it around, because the offense started doing it, started pushing, that's when they started their drives and started making their passes.
So the final score was 49-13. The Bobcats are now off until 2 weeks from tonight. They have a bye week next week, and then they play Carver 2 weeks from tonight. The JV game will be Thursday of 2 weeks from
last night.
What is tonight? Friday?
Friday night. Friday Night Lights. Friday night football.
It was played last Monday. Our statistician, who sometimes is with us totally, and sometimes he's like he is a man on the moon, because he walks in and asks some of the craziest questions. This was a football game, Mr. Rivas. But I cannot give him a hard time, because he is going to provide me with stats. I have already
sequestered them.
I have already tipped them off, and I'm probably not going to get my stats for a couple of weeks.
So,
but anyway, we'll be signing off here momentarily. We do have a broadcast tomorrow at 1:00 at the NCQMA. And who knows, Mr. Kirby may be on the airs for some of that. You never know.
You never know. You never know when I'm there. I mean, I may be doing something. I may not be doing something.
As long as the national media doesn't call you in the morning.
Well, I get that phone call. I had to turn them down for tonight.
Did you? Well, sometimes you got to go where the money is.
That's right.
That's right.
It's all about the money.
Well, again, thanks for not really filling in. You're a part of our staff.
Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you.
You do a good job. You're fun to do a game with. You understand the sport. We had a good time. And unfortunately, it was an overmatch from the opening kickoff. Obviously.
Yes, sir. But they they showed promise.
They did, and I think they played hard. Just got beat by a much better football team tonight. So for Mr. Kirby Purvis, and I'm not even going to name the ones that aren't here. They don't deserve any credit.
No, they don't. No.
And the world's best photography intern in the country. She couldn't make it tonight, but Cameron Hutchins. Oh, excuse me. She is the world's best intern. So that's Cameron Hutchins, who does a great job for the website, taking a lot of great pictures. So we're going to sign off and load up all of our stuff in the car and head home and get ready for a big day of quarter midget racing.
Yes, sir. See you next time.
So until then, everyone be safe.